Okay, what's up, everybody? This is Francisco, and I'm joined by my good buddies Andrew and Charles, and this is Sports Goofs number 149. And yeah, we're back. It's been a long summer, long hiatus for us. We haven't done this in quite a while. Me and Andrew did, of course, some weird baseball fields, looking for weird baseball fields, which were fun. And we did find some strange places and had some fun with that. But now we're doing the canon episodes here, right? All the lore and everything's back. Okay, Jimmy Butler's hair grew out, and I love it. And the wrestling world has gone upside down now, which is fine and fun, And and Andrew's making that money now, so he's a player. He's been making it rain all over the place. Y'all don't know and I grew a mustache this summer, so that's what's gone down. Things have changed. Things have changed wildly since we were last here. So Andrew, how you doing? How's it going, my dude?
Not too bad. Just chilling. Like you said, working. I don't know. Not much to add there.
You're quite modest. And Charles, how you doing, my friend?
So you remember Drake's album that came out in 2009 or 2010 or 2011 or 12 that said nothing was the same, or Pound Cake came on? That's how it felt like this offseason. Just saying. A lot of changes coming in.
Damn.
And I feel like we're back into dinosaur story, but
yeah. I
can't say we've evolved. I can't say we've gotten better. I can't say any of those things. All I can tell you is that it be stirring.
Yeah.
It stirring.
Ooh. Things have happened. Whoops.
I'm alive. I'm good. I'm kicking. Still doing Charles things.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you went to was it?
I went to the Carolina.
Yeah, or whatever. You went to Carolinas, but you had some chicken waffles.
Oh, chicken at Fats. That's the thing. I had to come back in the right way. The right way was eating like 4 slabs of Oreo waffles with 3 head. And the thing is, I went through delivery dudes and I ordered, and they have a combo for $14. So I got lemonade, chicken waffles, and then fries this time. This is the first time I ever had their fries from Fats.
Really?
Like, yeah. Because usually it's not a cup.
I thought you had everything on the menu by this point.
No, man, I have not strayed away from chicken waffles at all. So it just surprised me. And guys, except for 2 fries I had left over, I ate the whole thing. I don't know if I'm going to have dinner today. I'm surprised I'm hungry now. I'm kind of disgusted with myself a little bit, that I'm even like feeling a little bit peckish.
Okay.
That's like 2,000 calories I had.
Damn. Yeah, I'm over here trying to I need to exercise. I've been trying to lose weight by keeping down the calories, which is fine. But I've been maintaining it. If I start exercising, it'll fly right off, and I know this. But work and laziness. Then the Splatoon came out. That hasn't helped anything at all. You guys are lucky that I've been able to put this show together, and I've streamlined the process. Because before, it was just bad. I now, dude, I've got 20 hours in that game already. It released on Friday.
6 hours for me is an accomplishment. We had it basically an all-nighter Friday, so
yeah.
But more on that later.
Yeah. Also, an announcement. I guess we could say that the Goofs are going to cover football this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. And Andrew's taking me to Four Rivers.
Finally.
Yeah. He's making that money, man.
Was that the thing that you were talking about on the 17th? That I rudely keep forgetting to remind
myself
on? Shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, this is. I just need to remind everybody what that place was. And you know what? I'm going to the freaking big board here. I got rid of the other board that we had. Oh, I went to the cage accidentally. We're gonna go there. Oof, that the cage is full.
I think I told the guys that we need to do an extended.
Do a separate episode just for the cage alone. Only.
I want to see if I can. Not bite-sized.
Condense 3 months.
I'll tell you guys, I can tell you guys right now, I can cut the fat of the actual pay-per-views that happened, because at this point it's unnecessary. If you want to see
the recaps have happened already.
I can tell you what the great matches were. That's not hard at all for me. That's perfectly fine. But part of the reason why I did not do a mini cage was because of the fact that that too. I wanted to hear the live reactions to my reactions.
Yeah.
There's some times where it's okay to have the, give my own feedback, but then when there's the,
yeah,
I want that.
You want an audience, at least me and Andrew be like, what the
Absolutely.
But I do, I want to, because I got food on the brain. I feel like our show is best structured when we're like way more, a little loosey-goosey sometimes. But I just want to show Four Rivers once more before Four Rivers Smokehouse. Is that right, Andrew? That's the official?
Yes, sir.
There we go. That's their website. This was a non-sponsor of Andrew's before. And this is we're pre-gaming, right, Andrew? This is a pre-game thing because the game's at night between my beloved FAU Owls versus your most beloved UCF Knights.
Although, even though I am a UCF fan, I'm always able to. I just want everyone to know I'm able to put my emotions aside when it comes to reporting.
Did accidentally blow up on Twitter the other day,
Yeah.
so the heat of the game. Oh, look at these desserts
Must be nice
are in
to
session.
live in a glass house.
Look at the desserts are in session. Strawberry tarts and oatmeal cream pies. Look at that. All right. They sell they sell it at Costco. They sell the pork and beef sausage at Costco now, Andrew. There you go.
They're making moves. They're making moves.
Let's see. Aura King salmon. Order now for pickup delivery. Okay. I thought they were selling like their own food, like straight up. I would have bought some stuff if they're like selling their meat straight up and just like, oh, you just take it home and do it yourself.
No, but you need to have it at the place.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's just, look at that. Look, the Spud Crush and that looks fantastic. I'm excited. I am very much excited for that. And also, I don't know if you guys saw this on I have to make this so it actually like refreshes here. There we go. I don't know if you guys saw this on the Twitters and all that stuff, but MLB's got like a food fight going on their bracket. It's a bracket of the best ballpark foods for each of the teams. So yeah. So I did want to look at this right now because baseball's happening. There's some stuff and for the most part, it's fine and everything cool, right? The Yankees are falling apart, which is fun.
Are they? Like,
I mean, they're treading water, I would say, at best. Treading water at best, while Toronto and Tampa are trying to figure out what they're doing, and the Orioles, I think, are sadly fading out. I don't think they can maintain what's going on. But so let's see. Hold on, where's the pictures of these things? All right, so I did want to go down the list. You guys want to see this? Let's go down.
Yes.
All right, so this is the Atlanta Braves. They're world champions burgers. But it's half pound of Wagyu beef burger.
I think it's Wagyu.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's Wagyu. It's
Wagyu?
Georgia. They might, have some trouble with spelling and things like that. Brioche bun, cage-free pan-fried eggs, gold leaf Hudson Valley foie gras, lobster tail, which means it's instantly going to kill me, heirloom tomato, bib lettuce, Tillamook cheddar cheese, and truffle aioli. So that's Atlanta's.
Francisco, you found a typo. It is Wagyu, not Wagyu.
Yeah. So all right. So Atlanta.
Imitation Wagyu beef,
Yeah.
which is concerning in and of itself.
So that's Atlanta's. Let's actually. I take this shit off. I don't want this. What am I doing? This. I don't want to vote for the Braves on this one. I'm trying to remove my vote. Okay. So that's Atlanta's. This is Minnesota's. The Red Cow 60/40 burger. Burger is made with 60% certified Angus beef and 40% ground bacon. And the patty is smashed on the flat top grill to give it a nice caramelized crust, topped with Wisconsin-aged cheddar, candied bacon, and beer mustard, served on a butter-toasted bun with potato chips. So, guys,
It's edible.
Yeah, it's fine. If between the two, which one would you guys choose?
Can I see a picture of the first one again?
All right, so let's look at Atlanta, the world champions burger.
I feel like this is what is made for me. These kind of things. I feel like there's too much going on in that first one in Atlanta.
I concur.
I feel like this would be so like you couldn't hold this at all. Like that thing's gonna topple over.
I think it says it's worth the money that you're probably paying for it, but it's too much going on. You know, the adage of make burgers wider, not taller, definitely applies.
Okay, so all right. So Minnesota, we'll pick that in the first round there, in the first right there, and then we'll go to next one is I guess both Philadelphia origin teams, the Phillies and the A's. So. We've got, I didn't want to choose it, but whatever. Got a Philly cheesesteak, which is, man, that's so
overrated.
Like, yeah.
I'm saying it right now.
Philly cheesesteak, thinly sliced ribeye.
It's overrated because if it could be made the same from everywhere, it's not Philly. It's not Philly. Yeah, it's not Philly, nor is it just special.
Cheese Whiz, American provolone. That's Philadelphia Philly's choice right there.
Like I have a Charlie's Steakhouse that's being built inside my Walmart, and guess what they have there? Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
I've been tempted to go in there.
Listen, I don't like to eat in a Walmart, but I'll try anything one time, right?
All right, next is the Oakland A's dared to pair flaming hot cheesesteaks. So they both got cheesesteaks going on.
Well, flaming hot, if it has flaming hot sauce, automatically wins. Like I have a bag of Doritos Cool Ranch flaming hot. Oh, come on, man. Yes. Like what? Yes.
Thinly sliced beef, onions, cheese sauce, flaming hot Cheetos on a hoagie roll.
Bros.
Unfortunately for me, by default I have to go with the other one just because I have absolutely no.
Mustard is spicy for you, we know.
Yeah. Whereas I'm kind of like the Philly cheese.
I just bought some fat acid reducer today, but you might hate onions, but it's there for the flavor.
I hate the flavor of onions. You guys can tell me that all day. I can deal with onion powder, fried onions like super fried,
and
maybe.
The flaming hot would just knock it out. And here's the thing: I also can respect Andrew's position because sometimes simplicity is the best answer. A Philly cheesesteak is actually probably the best sandwich you can have on real sandwiches that you get in any kind of place. But novelty. I can't say that.
I'll go with the novelty.
You guys saw me eat a Cheeto. Fucking,
I'll go with the novelty just on that alone instead of just a plain old Philly cheesesteak. So we'll go with that. All right, so the San Diego Padres have the brisket borracho fries.
Ooh, I love brisket. Oh my god, is it like waffle fries?
Crispy golden fries. No, they're not waffle fries, but topped with juicy smoked brisket smothered with grand old barbecue signature queso and topped with a Frito relish.
Relish just ruined it. I don't like relish.
Really?
Oh man,
relish is
I don't like anything that I can taste that's gonna smell like my asshole coming out.
Really?
That is how I feel about relish.
Come on.
I can't do relish. That's why I can't do Chicago.
All right, I can't do onions then. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's San Diego. It looks good to me. I like it.
Andrew, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
It's looking good to me so far.
Can I pick around the relish? I mean,
no, unfortunately,
maybe is relish.
Like if they can find a way to like not top. It says it's topped with the Frito relish, so maybe you can just like take it off, but like, hey, don't top it with that.
Now I just want to say this though. I'm going based purely on.
This is a sports show, really.
I'm just going based on purely. Do I think I can't know how good it'll be because there could be contrasting flavors in there that'll make me vomit.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. That's the thing.
Well, that's why we're trying to expand your palate. So
it's like
sometimes contrasting flavors are good. That's kind of
for the longest time, I refused to get the McGriddle at McDonald's because I thought,
what?
Why in the hell?
What?
Would I get?
You don't like the McGriddle? I love the McGriddle. I can't.
Well, hold on. Wait. You didn't hear the whole story.
Okay.
Let me.
All right. Go ahead.
I said for the longest time, that's a past tense. I did not get it because I thought maple syrup has no place being with an egg McMuffin.
Oh no, you're wrong on that one.
Hold on, he's.
But then my sister finally convinced me to get it,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like,
okay. Where have you
okay.
been all my life?
So what I'm saying is the inverse could be true with these. It could look good, but get those flavors together and it could just be a mess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But going just based purely on the list of ingredients, this is looking pretty good.
Yeah. And I like contrasting flavors sometimes. But then again, I eat like a raccoon at times. So.
But too contrasting is its own issue.
Yeah. All right. So that's San Diego. So that's what's going on over there. So let's up in Canada.
Let's see what the
Blue Jays classic poutine. They got poutine. So this is a very safe pick for Canada, I would say. So golden skin on, crispy, twice fried Canadian potatoes tossed with sea salt, topped with elegantly crumbled fresh Quebec cheese curds, and finished with a rich classic poutine gravy. Fries and gravy. I mean, yeah.
I'm going to go with...
Elegantly crumbled. Elegantly crumbled.
Because it's French.
Not just crumbled.
It's French, but it's French-Canadian, so... You know,
I'm going to go with the novelty on the concept of, you got to make it more special. If you got to make sport food interesting or interesting. And if...
Yeah, especially if your team...
The relish does something different. But you gave me what I just called what it was. You're not even adding anything weird. You don't even have bacon on it. Maybe that pushes it over
Canadian bacon, that would have made more sense, right?
Yeah. Instead, you just go sea salt, because let's put a little dab of health.
Very boring.
Dab of health. So I'm going to go with the Frito relish, even though,
It's still sodium. Okay. All right, so I'm going to choose San Diego here, guys. I think that's a consensus, right? You would say?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't scream out like Canada or anything like that. I don't know. I mean, it's poutine, but they could have done something with a spin on it. All right. Next, we got the Chicago White Sox with the Cuban Comet sandwich.
That doesn't sound how are you?
Probably because of Jose Abreu. Probably because of that.
You just want to find a poster child to be relevant no matter what, right?
So, I mean, they are
you
the
just can't
other
be like
Chicago
the Tony La
team.
Russa hot dogs and hamburgers.
No, it's got to be just slathered in alcohol. Beer battered something. That's what Tony La Russa... A Tony La Russa burger is just beer battered beef.
I am not about any of this Cuban Comet sandwich.
All right, so mojo marinated pork, sliced ham, Swiss cheese, sliced dill pickle, and mustard on an authentic Cuban roll, griddled and pressed to crispy perfection. That's it. Yes. I don't think there's nothing common about it except for like the mojo, I guess, but it's mojo. I mean, it's not like
I was expecting. You can't even add a tomato.
Yeah, so that's the Chicago White Sox. They're paired up against the Marlins for whatever reason.
And who will not have, surprisingly, a Cuban sandwich.
And they have a Cuban sandwich, the Marlins.
Of course that's going to be the matchup. They seem to be...
There's a theme.
Look, they matched up 2 cheesesteaks. They matched up 2 Cuban sandwiches.
2 fries, yeah.
2 fries. I mean, that seems to be their MO.
Oh, Miami, why?
Oh,
like, if our season hasn't gone bad enough, this is just making it worse. Wow, historical local influence. The sandwiches
made boneless from the guy who takes my $10 for the car.
Damn.
When I go park on the street.
Like this is yeah. You can literally like park outside of Marlins Park, go into Abuela's house. She's gonna make you this. Like there's nothing special about it.
They have the water. They have the snacks.
Like we literally have arepas in the ballpark. Like they're like Pan is a sponsor. Like you could have done that, but. Oh man, this is the Marlins.
I think Layla would do a better job.
I followed the Marlins chef on Instagram. He didn't get in on this. Oh, this is bad.
You know what they could have done to give me the extra point? The deciding thing they could have done, boys. Shoestring fries. You could have just put them in there.
Yes.
Just that would have been okay.
I love potato stick fries, man. Those are awesome.
But no, Chicago.
I can't believe I'm saying this.
The White Sox.
There's the White Sox.
Yeah.
Whitest ass place.
The Marlins, another loss.
The bread looks like plastic.
Damn, man. This is why Don Mattingly's getting fired. Okay, next we got the Houston Astros with the Tampa Bay Rays. The Crawford dog. So the Crawford dog, 2 Angus beef hot dogs, split and griddled on a potato bun, topped with Crawford Bach bacon onion jam, and yellow onion jam. Oh God,
I like split hot dogs.
Yellow mustard. I know you. Oh, you love like.
What is that? What is a split hot dog? By the way?
You just cut the hot dog down the middle and you cook it that way.
I've seen like Meat Lover.
Think butterfly style.
Yeah, I think like I've seen Meat Lover hamburgers do it like that. You know, in like weird like hole in the wall shops where they're just like we have like a slice, not the whole hot dog, but half a hot dog sliced down the middle, like horizontally or vertically, I guess is the way we'll say it, Francisco, down the middle.
Yeah.
You know, butterfly is the best way. And put it there. So it is kind of life changing. So I'm not gonna lie, even though I hate Houston, year by year my hatred thaws a little bit.
Yeah, well, this is a food thing, so we can be a little more impartial in that sense, except for the Marlins one. That was awful.
That bacon onion jam.
I can't get behind that, but let's see what Tampa's got. All right, it's going down on Tropicana.
Strong. That's the thing. It's not gonna be that strong.
So they got the foot-long tater tot.
I love tater tots.
Shredded Idaho potatoes, scallions, jalapenos, sour cream, cheese sauce, and smoked bacon from the Rays.
Could they have done anything but a tater tot? And I love tater tots.
I'm assuming there's a hot dog inside of it.
No, I'm gonna go as is on what I see on that screen. Like that looks fine, but I want something that's gonna fill me, and I don't know. That's sharing food. That you
so
share
it's a
that
tater tot. It's not a hot dog. Okay, yeah, it's a long tater tot.
I mean, it's better than I thought what they feed the raccoons that live in Tropicana. So bully to them.
Andrew, what do you think? Do your Rays sway you? Or you got to go to Houston.
The first one again?
First one, Houston.
The question is, are you going to count?
This is not how I wanted the show to go, but I saw this last minute. I'm just like,
this is perfectly fine.
You know?
It's baseball. We can segue into baseball. It's okay.
Yeah, sure, whatever. We can talk about football later on.
I mean, God, I really that tater tot looks real good.
It does. I want to share that tater tot,
and I hesitate to say anything positive about that garbage organization.
The Astros.
Oh, I thought you meant the Rays.
Garbage can. No, the Rays are fine. They just play in a garbage can.
Our ownership is garbage. The team is.
I thought you were bringing that heat on the ownership.
But I gotta go with that hot dog, man. That looks real good.
Yeah.
All right, 2 versus 1. I would have gone with the tater tot, but okay, you guys get the hot dog then.
The tater tot looks fine. Listen, that was a hard one. We weren't sure.
I just can't get behind bacon onion jam. I just can't get behind that.
Bacon onion jam's fine.
All right.
The easiest one was the Cuban sandwich.
Damn, man, the Marlins sucked. Sandy Alcantara's the only thing good this season. Okay, next we got the Cubs versus the Royals. The Cubs, Lily Q's pulled pork nachos.
That sounds excellent, but it's going to fall into the tater tot logic.
Smoked pulled pork with house-made cheese sauce, Lily's Q's smoky barbecue sauce, baked beans, jalapenos, and sour cream topped with scallions. Oh, that baked beans. Oh, I love baked beans, man.
So
I love baked beans so much.
Here is the issue of nachos. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Here's the issue with nachos. Do you ever clean the plate clean of nachos? No. So that's the hard thing that it has to contend with.
It's very hard, yes.
You know, because here's the other problem with nachos. The middle has the nacho-y nacho-ness.
The balance.
And then the outer rim has nothing, doesn't have the guts.
The balance.
So then I'm just eating tortilla chips. So that's a disqualifier.
Yeah.
Well, not a disqualifier, but that's a point again.
Yeah, so or you get to the bottom and it's just straight up tortilla.
Because that tater tot was everything from start to finish. So I'm like, okay, I can work with that.
Okay. So that's Chicago, the Cubs. And then
I wish fewer places would put jalapenos on things. That's just a personal thing.
That's what we're trying to work you up to, Andrew. All right. Eventually we'll get you. We'll get you to put up a resistance to it. All right. Like a clownfish with an anemone, you know? Okay. So then we got Kansas City.
All right, if this isn't a hot dog.
Barbecue Reese's sandwich.
What?
It's barbecue because it's KC.
So what? Oh! This was made for
Yes!
me. We're going to
KC!
Kansas, baby. We're going to Missouri. I
Yes!
already saw that. Yeah.
Kansas City!
I'm sorry. Guys,
I love
you have
it.
known me for a long time.
I
Doing the show
love
for
it.
years. You know what's me. Tell what it is, Francisco.
I love it. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. House smoked pulled pork, sweet baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and topped with crumbled bacon.
Talking to the man who had Fats chicken and waffles today, which honey barbecue and mild sauce with Oreo waffles and fries. This speaks to me. Ooh,
Yeah.
y'all don't even have to know the mystery. You already know what it is, kids.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, I love it. Oh, that wins for me. You, Andrew?
I don't know. Again, this is McGriddle territory for me.
What?
Really?
You just complained about
the contrasting flavors. He's afraid of it.
You're afraid of your tummy, afraid of your arteries.
No, I'm afraid of how in the world is chocolate peanut butter going to work with barbecue?
I mean, it's sweet. It's already sweet.
Had barbecue on a burger
sweet
before.
on sweet on sweet. You know what I mean?
It's like kissing Jesus right there.
I mean, I guess it would work as counteracting the I don't know, the sour. I don't know what to call it.
I don't think there's any sour in that.
I mean, like the tang. That was the word.
All right, yeah, maybe you get a little citrusy.
Man,
you're gonna go for the nachos, aren't you, Andrew? It's okay.
We've already got a 2-1 on the Reese's thing, so. But I just wanted to know Andrew's like choice. Just then we can move on. All right.
Fuck it. Go with the burger.
Ooh, I got excited. I started sweating a little bit when I saw that photo.
I saw barbecue Reese's. At least it better not be named after some guy named Reese. I'm just like, no.
Missouri. We have no team. So you're not even coming to see baseball. You're coming to have a good lunch, man.
I mean, the Royals
I respect it. I respect that logic.
All right, so next we got the Dodgers versus the Mets.
This should be good.
So the Dodgers.
You can go with the Dodger dog. That's like an icon.
Yeah, but it's just a boring hot dog. My sister and my brother-in-law had it. They're just like, it's just a dumb hot dog, and they just call it a Dodger dog. It's nothing special about it. Okay, so we got the loaded barbecue baked potato. Colossal potato, as they call it, loaded with butter, house smoked barbecue, burnt ends. I love burnt ends. Cheddar cheese, barbecue sauce, crispy onions, and barbecue crema. Oh, there's crema in this?
I think the burnt ends might have sold it for me, but we'll see.
You take. I can, if you can just take those onions off. I can get down with some crema.
Here's my problem for baked potato. Why can't I just have it mashed potato and get more of the nutrients? I'm a fundamental man. I'm sorry.
More of the nutrients, like a plant.
Yeah, I'm a fundamental man.
All right. So that's the Dodgers. The New York Mets, General Tso's chicken tender bucket.
I am not trusting New York grubby, Queens flushing over there with fucking General Tso.
Wait, what part of New York are you from?
Oh, I'm from Jackson Heights, so that is Queens.
Okay,
So
you know.
That right now. My grandparents are 10-15 minutes away from the Met Stadium. I am not trusting that at all. If I don't see a single disclaimer, there's certain places you feel comfortable with going to pick up your nationality foods. If I don't see someone of Asian descent, Asian knowledge, Asian upbringing making that sauce, and that's high end processed, I'm gonna be shitting, man. Like I already know.
So yeah, General Tso's chicken tender bucket from Amazing Chicken Company.
Tater kegs?
Let's see, free range chicken, Tso's sauce, sesame seed with scallions with 3 cheese blendy cheesy tater kegs. Are those like just jumbo tater tots?
Probably. And hear me out here. You don't need to be. I know plenty of white people who can make an empanada. I'm just saying that it's a Walmart sauce, and that's my problem. If you're talking about General Tso sauce seasoning, you gotta avoid that. They both kind of lost me here.
So it's all right. So,
and then you're mixing cheese with General Tso sauce. It's gonna run through me. It's just gonna run through me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with the baked potato. Even though
Same.
I think my stomach likes the chicken.
All
I'm gonna
right.
go with the baked potato.
I mean, I can't deal with the onion, but if you can take those onions off, I'll go with the baked potato. But all right, so there you go, baked potato. Next is the Elvis Shake
What?
from the Colorado Rockies, and they're
What?
put up against peanuts.
What?
I'm gonna guess
because
guessing it's a milkshake with peanut butter and banana in it.
All right, so just have generic peanuts from every team. This is the major league. Oh, because there isn't enough MLB teams to make a true even bracket.
Oh.
So I guess because there's not 32 teams. So yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I guess the Rockies are probably gonna win this by default.
So you wouldn't just do peanuts and Cracker Jacks?
Elvis Shake feature. Oh, I'm going to Denver next week.
Yeah, that Elvis Shake.
Hold on. Let me take a photo of this with my phone. I gotta remember this. I might have some Rocky Mountain oysters though while I'm there. If y'all
Oysters are just okay.
They're not oysters. I'm just telling.
Oh, I don't know.
They're the bull testicles. So.
Well, that's an aphrodisiac. It's okay.
No, I've had them before. They're pretty good.
Well, yeah, you've been playing Splatoon. You don't need an aphrodisiac. You're okay.
Features creme de banana, soft serve ice cream, peanut butter sauce, Cracker Jack. There you go, Charles, and candied bacon. So that's the Elvis Shake. All right, that wins by default, and I'll give that one a go, guys.
So
here's my dad to get that.
Here's a fair question: does anybody ever really buy peanuts anywhere if it's not a gas station? If it's not roasted? I don't.
I haven't really bought peanuts itself ever, honestly. For the most part, I just peanut butter. That's it. So yeah, okay, all right. Rockies move by default. Okay, here we go. The Boston Red Sox versus the San Francisco Giants.
All right.
These are two things I can't have. The cold lobster roll from the Red Sox. New England style lobster roll is a classic at Fenway Park and includes fresh and local Yankee Lobster Company meat. That's ironic. Herbed mayo, celery, and is sprinkled with lemon and chives on a brioche bun. So that's Boston.
I've never had lobster rolls, so I mean, we're really gonna have to see what other side
neither
is.
have I, and I never will, I guess. Crazy Crab Sandwich from the San Francisco Giants, from their old mascot, which used to be a crazy crab. And that was
Jameis Winston intensifies.
Jameis Winston testified. Crazy Crab Sandwich. He won the game, actually, last week. Dungeness crab piled between two slices of buttery grilled sourdough bread, because San Francisco has that, I think, like the oldest sourdough starter in, like, at least in America. So that's probably what that's about. And yeah, Crazy Crab is a reference to their old hated mascot. And yeah, so I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I can't have either one ever in my life. So
I mean, just because I'm thinking lobster in New England and the benefit of it, like how great it's supposed to be, I'm just gonna go with the lobster roll.
no, Charles choosing the Red Sox. How about you, Andrew?
Let me see that first one more time.
There it is.
Lobster.
Oopsies.
I don't think it'll fill me up, but
There you go.
I'm
I'm sure it's kind of like having like chicken salad or something, or or tuna.
gonna go ahead and go with the Giants here.
All right, San Francisco. So that means I have to be a tiebreaker for a thing that I can't even eat. I know what things taste like, sure. And I had monkfish, which kind of sort of had the texture of lobster. It didn't really taste like it, but had the texture of it. Damn. I'll just go. I mean, I kind of like the way the bread looks on the Giants one, so I'll just go with that. So I'll go San Francisco. So we'll go with that.
okay.
All right, next I'm just gonna call them Anaheim. The Anaheim Angels versus the Washington Nationals. I don't give a shit. They suck anyways. The Nashville style fried chicken sandwich in Anaheim. So there you go.
All right, you have my attention.
Alrighty. I like Nashville style fried stuff. So house-made spice blend, topped with 48-hour brine pickles and Melissa's Produce coleslaw, all right, tossed in a creamy jalapeno cilantro dressing, all served on the soft Martin's potato bun. All right, so we know what a Martin's potato bun tastes like. That's for sure. Okay, it looks pretty good. Doesn't look too shabby. All right, so there you go. Next is Washington, roaming rooster honey butter chicken sandwich. So free range, antibiotic free, and grain fed buttermilk fried chicken breast smothered with honey butter and cheddar cheese.
That's not that.
It's a very stuck up sandwich, and I guess that kind of makes sense for DC.
That sounds very mid.
Yeah, it feels like it just feels. I don't know. Yeah, they should have had a glizzy. That's a DC thing.
Yeah. Apparently, that's just been running through with everybody. So there you go.
All right. What do you think, Andrew? I'm gonna go with Anaheim on this one.
Can I see the first one more time?
I'm going with the Angels.
So that's Anaheim, and then we got Washington.
They're both not really appealing to me, to be honest.
All right, so I guess Anaheim.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
That one seems more plain.
All right, Anaheim, regardless, 2-1. Next, we've got the New York Yankees versus the Baltimore Orioles.
Ooh.
All right, so the Yanks.
We'll see. We'll see if Yankees do worse than the Orioles in 2 ways this year.
All right, Lobel's steak sandwich. So this is the Yankees, a thinly sliced USDA prime New York strip steak, tossed in a gourmet blend, scratch gravy, and served on a toasted brioche bun. Really, New York.
No.
Out of all the, I get New York steak. I find, yeah, sure, but wow, it's very
out of every. That's the best you could come up with.
That's as plain as Derek Jeter's tenure with the Marlins.
Mid.
That sucks.
All right, Boog's barbecue sandwich out of Baltimore.
Already won.
Traditional pit beef sandwich offered with the selection of
that's
sauces
kind of mid
and a
too.
split up brioche bun.
That's kind of mid too, though.
Pit beef sandwich offered with the selection of sauces.
Less mid.
It has sauces and stuff like that. I guess that kind of spices it up a bit.
But they don't even own its sauces.
Yeah, you would think it'd be something like a crab-based thing with Maryland, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean,
Boog is a former player of theirs.
Yeah. Boog Powell. I'll go with Baltimore. All right, Andrew, you pick Baltimore.
Yeah.
All right. So. Lex is Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh. Skyline Chili. We're at the 40-minute mark. I'm glad the show's back. Skyline Chili Cheese Conies versus the Pirates Reuben Dog. All right, so let's see. This is Cincinnati. Skyline Chili is their famous chili over there. You know, it's hot dogs and steamed buns with mustard, covered with Skyline Chili secret recipe chili, diced onions, and a mound of shredded cheddar cheese, not even melted, by the way.
A mound.
Yeah, that's basically what they do. So that's their thing.
I mean, that's kind of like my language right there.
Yeah. All right. So that's Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh, a Reuben Dog. So locally manufactured corned beef, Thousand Island dressing, Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut on a dog with a lot of snap in quotation marks. So that's a Reuben Dog from Pittsburgh. So what do y'all say?
I mean, the Jew in me is saying the Jew in me defaults to the Reuben because that's like one of our food groups.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that just sounds awesome. So yeah, Reuben Dog for me.
How about you, Charles?
First one.
All right. I'd like the completeness of the Reuben Dog. I've heard, and maybe my bias is with like what I've heard from Skyline Chili. Some people say it sucks, some people say it's good. I've heard too much about it to like I'm just gonna go with Pittsburgh. So, all right. Next is Cleveland versus Detroit. So the Indians, or gosh darn it, the Guardians. Gosh darn it, man. Sheesh. Wow. That's going to take a bit. It'll take another year. All right. Guardians, Commanders.
The racist meme there.
Just the Dians. I'm just going to call them the Dians.
Guardians.
Yeah. Some people have shortened it to the Guards, which is pretty cool. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Pork mac and cheese cone at Throwing Smoke Barbecue. Okay. So large waffle cone stuffed with creamy mac and cheese and Montgomery Inn pulled pork, topped with coleslaw and a drizzle of barbecue sauce. All right, Cleveland. All right, yeah, I'm on board.
They're speaking your language.
There we go. Okay. Let's see. Detroit, brisket mac and cheese pasty. So, okay. Rich, flaky crust stuffed with hatch and chili queso. Mac and cheese with smoked beef brisket.
Both of these are kind of hard.
Wow. Yeah, these are.
I do love a brisket.
Hitters. Yeah, and they're weird too. They're untraditional form factors, I would say, of presenting these foods. You know, this is inside of a pasty. The other one's inside of a waffle cone. This is a hard one. I honestly could go with both, to be honest. I don't know. What do you think, Andrew? Give us some guidance.
Can I see the first one again?
So that's Detroit. This is Cleveland with the waffle cones.
Second one.
All right. Detroit. I think I'll go with Cleveland. I'm going to go with Cleveland on this one. How about you guys? Final choice, let's go.
Well, I'm going with the second one, so Detroit.
Charles, tiebreaker. Is he here? Did he disappear? Your mic is off if you're still here, Charles. All right. Maybe his headphones died or something. Okay. Well, it's just you and me. Yeah, or maybe, I don't know, maybe a work thing popped up. I'm not sure. So, whoa. So, gosh, what do we do? What do we talk about? We're at the almost 45-minute mark. He's sending a message. He got kicked? Can you hear us, dude? Are you there? Charles, let's see.
I'm back.
Oh, okay. All right. That was weird. All right. Yeah, so I'm back here. What do you think, Charles, between the Cleveland and Detroit tiebreaker?
I'm going to go with Detroit.
All right.
It was hard. It was hard.
All right.
I'm saying that right now. It was very hard.
Okay. All right, Detroit. Next is Arizona versus St. Louis. So Arizona is the churro dog. Ooh, here we go. Oh, a churro inside of a Long John donut with chocolate glazing topped with frozen yogurt.
Sounds kind of wrong, but kind of delicious.
It does. It does. All right, that's Arizona. Good for it. Yeah, I like that. Next, I'm sure that's something because these both have some connection to Tony La Russa, so that's just a drunken man's dream.
Jesus God. Petty Hard On is the name of the show for a reason, right?
Yeah. Dinger's Donuts Delight from the Cardinals. Mini donuts topped with homemade frozen custard. It's very safe, I think, in a way. In a way, it is to me. I'm going to go with Arizona, to be honest. Just for the pageantry of it all.
So what was the second one?
the donuts, Dinger's Donuts, mini donuts topped with homemade frozen custard. So that's St. Louis.
First one again for me
is churro dog. Churro instead of a long donut.
I mean, I do love churro, but inside a donut, I feel like that's too contradictory of tastes.
I've already chosen Arizona just for the
I'm gonna go with Arizona. I think the churro inside the Long John would not make me happy.
Unanimous.
All right. So Diamondbacks, cool. Next is the Seattle Mariners versus the Texas Rangers. So Seattle, ancho chili brisket quesadilla. Slow roasted ancho chili marinated brisket, along with the perfect blend of asadero Chihuahua cheese and fire roasted sweet peppers and onions, refreshing pineapple pico de gallo, and avocado cilantro crema.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. I would think this would come out of Texas, not Seattle, but there we go. Okay, so that's Seattle. It's a quesadilla. Next is Texas brisket egg rolls. Oh, they're like contrasting. Quesadillas coming out of Seattle and egg rolls coming out of Texas. Like like the more Asian places making Hispanic food, yeah, there you go. Okay. Texas brisket egg rolls, tender house smoked brisket shredded and rolled up in a classic egg roll, wrapped with deep fried Napa cabbage, served with togarashi seasoned fries and sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
Texas.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the second one.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like Seattle's trying way too hard with this one.
I think the egg rolls to make it more simpler to eat. I know that's what you're saying. Hey, Charles, quesadillas, but got to make it work.
Okay, so brisket egg rolls, and finally, baseball just has Cracker Jack, and versus Milwaukee's, which is probably going to win by default. Johnsonville Ultimate Bratwurst. So, specialty sausage powered by eggs. By Blues Egg was launched this year. Why do they give a description like this? Just tell us what the food is. I don't care when it started. Johnsonville Ultimate Bratwurst features bratwurst topped with braised apple sauerkraut, Swiss cheese, onions, and brown mustard. There you go. Okay. So, and American Family Field is the top seller of sausage in the MLB and the only team that sells more sausage than hot dogs. I mean, they have frickin' racing sausages, and it's Wisconsin, so okay, so there you go. So that's that's the first round of things. I think we're gonna end this here, guys, because if not, we're not gonna have talking sports. But this was fun, cool. I mean, we could continue this later on, maybe next episode or something for the next bracket.
We could do round by round per episode.
Yeah, so it's saved. We're recording it, so cool. So that's what we got. All right, let's. We got 10 minutes to talk about something. Can I go with Gottlieb's Goons? Can we do that? I just want to. I want to start things off with something that I feel like all of us are gonna unanimously be like, yeah, they deserve to be dragged on the internet. Texas A&M. And specifically, the Midnight Yell.
Oh, yeah, the Midnight Yell.
Okay, so I didn't know this was a tradition, and apparently a lot of people didn't until Texas A&M lost to App State this past weekend.
They do it every week.
I know, but
nothing new.
And I get that, and people are saying there's nothing new for Texas A&M. Well, Texas A&M hasn't mattered enough for us to care, okay? And they've been talking shit, so we've been realizing they've been talking shit about everybody for the past 50 years, so now we're going to drag them, especially when they lose to App State, and especially when they're top 10 ranked. So, but the beauty of this is, it came out that, they do this tradition, and there was some it was like a weird, shitty open mic, basically, where their cheerleaders
Yell.
Oh, that's such a. I hate that term.
I I will be your shaman into the world of Texas A&M football.
I do not want to be here, but we are here.
Wait, what's the problem?
All right. So
they don't want to say cheer, so they shall yell?
Yes. It's called the Midnight Yell. And that's...
I mean, I don't like getting yelled at. I like getting cheered. That's not my kink buds.
They yell and they practice. They at midnight the night before the game they practice yelling, which okay, and they trash the other team by having a pretty much a shitty open mic of these yell leaders trashing the team. So the Texas A&M ones were saying like, oh, App State, it's in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina. Even though if you look at the campus, it's probably one of the most beautiful ones in the U.S.
Absolutely.
And we haven't even looked at their baseball field is magnificent, and they've been known to like, you know, put people in their place when people talk shit. So the video came out of this after it happened because, you know, people are trying to trash Texas A&M. But the goony part of this is Texas A&M has been massively trying to copyright strike every ounce of that video and scrub it from the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But
Streisand effect.
That's what I was about to say. It's the Streisand effect. The harder you try, and the more you make it known that you don't want this happening and being seen, the more people are gonna copy it and keep it and redistribute it so people can see it. So,
like, honestly, if they hadn't been DMCAing, I wouldn't have heard anything about it.
Exactly. And, you know, I think some people started posting it, and it was like, okay, and I'm showing it here in the background of what was going on, the shitty open mic. And at first it was just this part. And then people started looking at, well, what else they do there? They do some sort of weird square dancing, which is really rednecky and hillbilly of themselves anyways. Like... oh man, this is like 1950s. Like, man, if you brought a minority from the 1950s to today, they probably think it was some weird Klan rally of some sort. Anyways, I'm dragging them this time. This is all pent up over the last 3 months, but man, Texas A&M.
But I just want to say before we start dragging them much further. Something that is near and dear to my heart with Texas A&M, you got to pull her up. It's Reveille.
Reveille? And by the way, Jimbo Fisher lost, so you know that strokes my FSU thing, you know, pretty nicely there.
The thing is,
Jimbo can't win without Jameis.
I think I looked at prior to the App State game. Someone had a Reveille.
Reveille?
Reveille.
Reveille. Okay.
Reveille, Texas A&M. You have to add that specifically.
Reveille.
Eille. Well, don't look it up on Twitter. Look it on Google.
Oh, is this like a not safe for work thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
Contemplate your choices there, Francisco.
Just look up Reveille on Google.
I'll just look. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. It looks like revile, which would actually make sense. Okay. Grave site. What am I looking at here? Is this
Hold on. Your thing is very delayed on my screen, so.
No, I'm looking on my phone. Oh, it's a dog.
I know.
Okay.
It's Reveille.
It's a collie. It's like a border collie.
No, just regular. She's a rough collie.
Oh, okay. All right.
Smooth collie.
All right. So.
She is the quote unquote official mascot of Texas A&M.
Yeah, because there's like an Aggie really makes no sense. It doesn't mean anything. You know?
Well, Reveille is the. Texas A&M is very military oriented. You know, being part of their corps of cadets is, you know, like a high honor. It's like ROTC on steroids. their marching band. It's not a regular marching band. It's a military style marching band. And
don't they only do all kinds of crazy stuff every time they score a touchdown or whatever?
And the only people who can be in it are members of the Corps of Cadets. So Reveille is the song they play in the morning on trumpet.
Okay.
So that's her name.
She's the first lady of Aggieland, as they call it.
She's the highest. She's like a general ranking in the Corps of Cadets. She's ranked higher than any of the students,
which makes sense. Which is honestly, I honestly would rank her higher than any of the students.
She is the only animal aside from service animals that's allowed to go into any building in the school. She is a dedicated, I believe, sophomore handler. And the tradition is if Reveille barks in a class, the class has to be immediately canceled.
Okay. Oh, man.
She is a very, very good girl.
The dog's a good girl. The people are not. All right. Texas A&M, that's what I got. That's the goon that I got. We're at the 57-minute mark. Do you guys have any you want to talk about over this? I mean, there's stuff. There's stuff. We got 3 months of it. Not sure. Now we can go to non-sponsors. We're almost there.
Let's just start it early.
All right, fine. Yeah, because then we got like football and baseball's happening. We'll get to baseball. And yeah. Okay, so word for non-sponsors, people, places, things, concepts. I have less graphics now because I'm trying to streamline this whole show. So there's less of some things. It just takes too much time for me. That we've been enjoying over the past week. So guys, who wants to start? Like, we've got 3 months of like things that we've enjoyed over the last week, but who really wants to get it going?
That's a terrifying
because I know what I feel like I have many things I could choose from.
Yeah.
But, like, the thing that's been on my mind since Friday overtakes everything right now.
And I feel like we would share that, so that's part of the problem too. And I think in the 3 months I've been out, it's going to be... You know what? I'll start just to kind of to differentiate to it.
All right.
So, boys, I'm getting older. I'm 33 now. There was a birthday that passed in, and when you segue from 32 to 33, it doesn't seem like it's too big of a change. But when you play certain games, like I have this year, and it's going to be a game, because I've listened to too many audiobooks, but I've also played and beaten too many games on the hiatus. And I've had a lot of food that I can talk about as well, but I'm sure I'll revisit those things. So we want to talk about things that have poignancy and meaning and effect. And Francisco and I play a lot of video games. Andrew doesn't, because Andrew's the adult here. He likes video games, likes Kingdom Hearts, he likes the show. We love him. But video games have now transcended to be a medium of entertainment, and I would also say to art. It is no longer just the Mortal Kombat of ripping people's skulls out or being Mario and then wondering why we have trust issues jumping down big pits and naming our lizards Yoshi. I do not have a lizard named Yoshi. But sometimes you have games that touch your soul a little bit and connect with you, because everything ought to be connected. It's like we're sharing strands of each other. And Francisco may have hyped this game up.
Kidding?
So, for me, I guess my non-sponsor during the break is the second best game of the year that I've played. And for those who don't know, I tally up the games I have and I rank them, and I give them assignments. So, obviously, Returnal is still my game of the year. Haunting game. Death Stranding is my second game of the year, despite my love of Shredder's Revenge that I hyped up so much on. Yes, you are Amazon delivery man. You really are Amazon delivery man. You're Amazon delivery man in apocalypse. And I think Francisco hyped up last time when you used it as a non-sponsor. So I'll just go about how it touched me, because aside from being a very chill game and just doing your deliveries, it is kind of scary. I did not play it on normal mode. I played it on story because I was there to get what I needed to get out of it. Kojima understands me. But buddy, that final 2 hours,
That's when it became an actual. It was like, yeah, it's movie-like right there. Yeah.
The final 2 hours just transcended emotion and connection and feeling and want and reflectiveness and, to use my Brooklyn Nine-Nine imagery, pain. I didn't cry.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I like Brooklyn Nine. Yeah, I still have to finish the final season. This is the problem with things like end.
The final season's just kind of.
Yeah, like when things end, I'm just like, all right, now I can just reserve my time to watch it whenever, because no one I know really likes Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and it's one of those shows that there's no collective group to say, hey, we all like Brooklyn Nine. Like everybody likes The Office. They always quote The Office.
I do too. I watch the whole thing.
Yeah, but the thing, this is the point. Like The Office, no one shuts up about The Office. Oh, that means some The Office. Parks and Recs, no one shuts up Park and Rec. We all know the references. Even Community, 6 seasons in the movie. But for like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's just kind of like...
That's true. It came too far into the end, and then the streaming started happening, and people were just kind of like,
It feels like super anonymous, and I'm going to say this now. I think... Can I say this? I'm going to say it anyway. I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine is prejudiced by viewership because it's a show about cops, and there's a very split view on cops that could be rightfully deserved and rightfully owned, but it's still a comedy. So it's really funny. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you should watch it.
Inadvertent and non-sponsor.
Yeah, seriously. Like, it's great. Like, Amy and, whatever his name, I forgot his name right now. Amy and Jake. Yeah, Amy and Jake just... I feel that. Deputy or Raymond, whatever his name is.
Ray Holt.
Ray Holt, yeah, thank you. Like, it's been a bit. Terry Crews is actually... And you know what? It got a little bit better when Gina left, because I didn't like Gina, because, it was just kind of like...
Too abrasive of a personality.
It was just like, let's purposely force ourselves to have the abrasive character when we do
abrasive Italian New York girl.
Yeah, and then Boyle, like... I didn't like Boyle, but then season 3 happened, and
Charles.
Everything was like, yeah, well, that too. But I'm like, who is this OCD guy? But everything would be like, Nikolaj. And I'm like, yeah, I can see it. It's definitely a good show. The only person who really, and Rosa, watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's my side non-sponsor. Just because it's a show about cops doesn't mean it's about bad cops. You want a bad cop corrupt show, go watch The Shield. Fantastic show. Great. Want another good cop show? Watch The Wire. It's fantastic. But Death Stranding, you felt the emotions. BB-28, oof. Every time I hear Matt Mickelson now singing, see the sunset, the day is ending, I feel a little about that. Well, like, it is how I feel about Kingdom Hearts, the same way as how I feel about Death Stranding, that no matter the adversity, there's always a light coming out. And it takes a lot to kind of say that. Aside from PS5 Director's Cut, just beautiful and everything like that, it's not a hard game. It takes 45 hours to beat. You could literally just watch the YouTube stream, but it's not the same.
It's not. You have to.
It's not the same.
It's not. It's a game that there's no other game like it.
There's no other game like it, and I like that uniqueness with it. But I felt something.
Yeah. And
it's rare for you to feel things. I think sometimes in today's day and age, where it's just like headshot. Yeah. Or when it's a blatant play on nostalgia, and this is not a blatant play on nostalgia. So do yourselves a solid, go play it. Death Stranding is like cheap now.
Yeah, it'll make you want to call your dad.
It would make you want to call your dad, that parent, that family member. It would make you want to call your loved ones. It might make you call that girl, that guy that you haven't talked to in a couple of years because you're an a-hole. And then it also tells you that you don't have to be isolated and alone. So just play it. Death Stranding, second best game of the year. Doesn't top Returnal, but if you play Returnal, you'll know why. Because that was the majority of the time we went on break, so it makes sense.
Okay. I guess I'll go next.
Do you want to save yourself for last? Since
it might be a co-share to a degree.
Okay, go ahead, Andrew. What do you got? What have you been enjoying?
I forget if I've done these, folks. I have a very bad memory with.
We talked about Four Rivers again today too. So
I'm going to go with the Football Writers Association of America, the FWAA.
Well, then.
It's an organization for college football writers. I'm a member.
Yep.
I joined a couple of years ago. And I mean, you get some perks, which is really cool. But I mean, it's not like, you're enshrined in something. It's not like you can only get it if you're like a veteran or a veteran of the field or whatever. But it's kind of cool, to be honest, to be a card-carrying member of such a, like, it's a voting organization that votes on awards at the end of the year and such things.
This is college football only, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you're not like with Adam Schefter and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, no, but like most of the major ESPN employees are members.
Okay.
So it's, I mean, I'm not in their league, and I'm not in their league, nor would I ever dream to be, because I'm a lawyer.
Tom Brady's not far from here. Maybe Andrew can break the story of his real retirement.
I'm lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm lawyer adjacent or attorney adjacent.
Attorney at law.
But it's kind of cool to say, hey, I'm part of this group with these really cool people. So I don't know. I mean, it's not like a life-changing experience, but it's kind of cool thing to add to the resume.
Yeah, exactly. You're at a conversation with somebody who's like, yeah, I do this. It's like, oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I'll rub elbows with some of these people in Boca this Saturday. So yeah, after we're stuffed with Four Rivers. So yeah. I may not be of much use after that.
So I guess promo code is. Hold on. I had it in my head for a second. I have no shot of being in the same league as these people, but it's still cool to be in this organization with them.
That's a
very long promo code.
Oh, I didn't do a promo code on mine. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Promo code. Damn it! I'm sorry. Promo code BB. There you go.
Baby daddy.
No, that ain't me, bud.
Well, isn't I don't know. Should I spoil the game? Should I be like, isn't he like his own dad or something? I don't know. At the end, they kind of got me. All right, okay, guys. You
didn't figure out the ending?
I didn't watch any of the lore stuff, but I just feel like he's his own dad or something like that. Or his dad was his dad's dad. I don't know. Not Charles, but Cliff was his dad.
Off the show, I will tell you what it is.
Fine. I don't know. Maybe I got too buried under the Kojima.
Wow, I thought you had that registered, bud.
Okay. All right. I just know that the BB was him, and at the same time, like, they were split with their souls, and okay.
I will have to help you. It's okay.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do mine, which is it's Splatoon 3. It's just Splatoon 3.
Wow.
It's Splatoon 3 because honestly, I've enjoyed a lot of things over the summer. I started getting back into movies. I started watching movies, guys. Okay, I watched Big Trouble.
So proud of you.
Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China was awesome.
Fantastic.
I really that's my favorite one so far. It's because it's so much like stupid 80s bullshit, but they don't try too hard to explain what's going on. Just like they're Chinese, they got magic powers. Just go with it. Okay, that was beautiful, right? John Carpenter, right? He made like The Thing and a bunch of other great movies. So like that, I get that. And I gotta watch some other stuff. I'm never watching The Sandlot because that's part of the lore of the show. And I have to watch The Hunt for Red October because Andrew's it's his favorite movie. So I gotta watch that too. Okay, I'm watching stuff. I watched Kindergarten Cop. I really like that, Charles. Yeah, that was a great recommendation over all the other stuff that I showed you.
It's not a tumor.
Exactly.
It's not a tumor.
Yeah. That's great. When he started beating up that abusive dad, that was great. I loved it.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
Yeah. But
although I'm going to spoil the party here and say I have not seen Kindergarten Cop.
What?
It's free, Andrew. It's free on what's it free on? I think it's either Tubi or Pluto TV, one of those. But it's free somewhere. Okay. Or maybe it might even be on like Freeview. I think that's on Amazon's free TV thing. Okay. So it's there's a lot of those like classic 80 movies are like free now. so you can watch them. So I'm getting into it. Like I'm cooking again. Like I'm actually like really cooking, utilizing the kitchen that I have in my room. So I'm watching the movies while I cook. So I'm like,
just try not to burn down your place.
I make sure to unplug everything when I leave in and out. Okay, but nothing has latched onto me so quickly and so hard than Splatoon 3. Like, all right, so me and Charles have been through this journey. We got Splatoon 1. We were like one of only 10 people that owned a Wii U. And like we bonded over that.
That's how we bonded. That's how we started.
That's how we knew. Yeah, you know? And so like, all right, fine. Then we both got Switches. We got Splatoon 2. Charles wasn't like really into Splatoon 2. I played it.
I put 84 hours in. So
yeah, but not like I put 365
I'm
hours
sorry
in.
I grew up and I had to do things as a lawyer. Damn.
So I put in more into Splatoon 2, but like it petered off after Smash came out and then Rocket League and all this other stuff, and so I didn't work and everything like that. I'm like, okay, fine. And we played a little bit before Splatoon 3 came out. I was like, okay, all right, get the juices flowing a little bit. But then they had their world like Splatfest, the first Splatfest, and I was like, all right, let's get into it. And then like, oh my, it's like an addiction, man. I was an alcoholic. Right, and you get that first little, okay, I'll try a little bit of one, and next thing you know, I'm in the basement, drunk on the floor, like I have no idea what's going on anymore. Right, I'm Tony La Russa right now with Splatoon 3, and then the actual game came out on Friday. Bought it. I'm 20 hours in. I beat the story mode in one sitting, like 4 hours straight on Saturday. Because I'm just like, I'm just going to keep playing. And I've just been playing and playing and playing. And everything about this game is improved over the second one. The user interface, the controls, the balancing of the weapons and everything like that. The layouts of the maps. They brought back some good ones from the first one again. Like, it's the complete package. It feels like Smash Ultimate, but for Splatoon. Like, this is the culmination of everything that they've learned from the first two games, and even stuff from Fortnite and Rocket League and Fall Guys and a bunch of these other multiplayer shooters, Call of Duty. They've implemented stuff that make you want to come back to play more. It's like, okay, how did you do in the game? All the stats and everything. There's slightly deeper stats than the last two games. They give you medals for like how like well you do if you're like the best inker or splatter and all this other stuff. Like it's, whoo! I want to play it right now. You guys are lucky I'm not playing it during the show like Charles does.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good, and it looks like from like the lobby, or not the lobby, but the Splatsville, which is like the main like hub world of the game. It looks like they're gonna have more like with DLC and things like that, because it's much bigger than the first two games. So it hopefully it'll bring more modes and some new, like so far they kind of sort of played it safe with like the stuff that works, which is great. But I'm hoping they experiment with some new stuff from
new
other games.
Definitely coming, man.
Yeah, the next Splatfest is about to happen, so that's going to be great. They added the tricolor battles, which was like that was amazing when I started playing it. So I can't wait to play that again. And I don't know, man. I don't know when I'm gonna like come off this high right now, because it is. I stayed up till like 2:30 a.m. last night playing. Like I really like this game, and yeah, it's well worth it. Some people were like, oh, they didn't change enough. This isn't like Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 was just a travesty, but that's Activision Blizzard, and they suck.
They haven't even.
Yeah.
That was in beta, and they're still kind of. They're even. The thing about that is that anybody who played Overwatch 1 is just going to get blipped out because Overwatch 2 is mandatory. So you got to. It's free to play.
Yeah.
But means nothing.
Yeah. But this is an actual complete game for the most part, just in its normal thing alone. The DLC is going to be great and everything, but there's no microtransactions or anything like that. You get the game, you get all the stuff right there, and then the base stuff, and that's it. And you go. And Charles got some extra stuff because he pre-ordered it, I think, right? So
I got stickers and a patch, and I got it for free.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Charles' frugality was on point that day. So yeah, Splatoon 3, frickin' promo code Woomy. Woomy.
Gloomy?
Yeah, Woomy. That's
Woomy.
it's when you taunt people. That's what they say. So
Oh.
yeah. Okay, this is a sports show, everybody. So we might as well talk about that. Man, where do we start?
NFL.
I'd like to start with college football just
Oh, yeah.
because it's been pure madness.
Okay, so college football, we're deep into week 3?
We're heading into week 3.
Okay, we're heading into week 3.
Although technically it's kind of week 4 because they have a week 0, but
Isn't that like
week
the HBCUs that start, right?
no, like it was the Nebraska Northwestern game.
Okay.
You know, it's
Oh,
a couple of
Nebraska.
well, I'll get to them in a second.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's going down. I don't know why I keep doing this, but yeah. Okay, Andrew, where do you want to start with all of this?
Well, I guess I want to start with how it's been upset season so far. Not necessarily to the level yet of 2007, which was, that was the year that Appalachian State beat Michigan. That was the year of the curse of the number 2 ranked team. That was just pure chaos. This season, though, hasn't been that bad to start. Just in week 2 alone, I'm going to list off some upset games here. There's something called play games, or it's like pay for play. I don't know what it's called necessarily, but it's basically where a bigger team plays a littler team,
The cupcake
to
games.
play them.
Yeah.
So like that's your cupcake FBS FCS games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rub some salt in the wound here, but Florida State, Jacksonville State from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You didn't lose to them this time, though.
Yeah.
Or you didn't lose to your FCS cupcake this time, so mazel tov. So in week 2, we have Bowling Green State paid $350,000 to FCS Eastern Kentucky.
I love how you're naming the amount they paid to. That's great.
And it was a 59-57 loss in quadruple overtime. Utah State lost 35-7 to FCS Weber State. They were paid $390,000. Nevada lost 55-41 to FCS Incarnate Word. And UIW got paid $400,000. Notre Dame lost 26-21 to Marshall. The Thundering Herd were paid $1.25 million. Nebraska, in the final game of Scott Frost's tenure, I guess,
Yeah.
was a 45-42 loss to Georgia Southern, who was paid $1.42 million. And then the pièce de résistance, circling back to our Gottlieb Goon, Texas A&M lost 17-14 to Appalachian State, who was paid $1.5 million to play. So all told, we're talking like, I don't know, $5 million in these upset games.
Yeah.
But it's been a wild and crazy couple of weeks so far. I mean, let's start with the big news: Scott Frost out at Nebraska. For those who don't know, Scott Frost
Used to play for them.
That is correct. Scott Frost was a national championship winning quarterback for Nebraska back in the mid-90s.
That's the last time they were relevant.
Back when they were relevant, absolutely. He goes on, makes his way up the coaching ladder, and eventually gets his first head coaching gig at UCF starting in 2016. He takes them in 2 seasons. He only lasted 2 seasons at UCF. They went a total of 19-7 including a 13-win perfect season in 2017 en route to, say it with me, Charles, a national championship. Okay, so after that, Nebraska fired, or in the middle of the season, Nebraska fired its head coach. I forget what his name was. Hired Scott Frost to be kind of the golden boy coming back to bring his program back to some sort of success. Think Steve Spurrier. Oh, yeah, he did coach at UF. It's basically they were looking for like a Steve Spurrier part two. That didn't really work out. The Scott Frost one, the Spurrier one, did pretty decent. So Scott Frost won fewer games in 4+. So Frost coached for 4 seasons plus 3 games of this one. So 3, 6, like 51 games, I think, roughly. Because I don't think they ever made it to a bowl game.
Nope.
So in like 51 games over 4+ seasons, Frost still had fewer wins than he did in the 2 seasons at UCF.
Ouchies.
He had 16 when he was at Nebraska. Like I mentioned earlier, he had 19 at UCF. So yeah, he's out of a job. And what kind of surprised everybody, it wasn't a matter of if, but when Frost was going to get fired, because I think he lost 10 straight 1-score games, which is an all-time record.
He's like the Marlins.
Like at that rate, I'm not sure if you saw the video by Urinating Tree about the Cleveland Browns, but there was that one guy who said it's statistically harder to be this consistently bad than it is to occasionally be good.
You're a factory of sadness.
Exactly. That's Scott Frost's tenure in a nutshell. He broke the statistics for a team and the problem is they had their shots. You know, if they turn those 10 games, even some of them around into wins, you know, he's still in a job. But nope, couldn't do it. And so the writing was on the wall. The question wasn't if, but when he was going to get fired. People were kind of looking toward October 1st. Now, October 1st was the day when his contractual buyout dropped from $15 million to $7.5 million. So everyone's like, all right, they're going to save $7.5 million.
No.
You know, they're going to, wait it out a couple more weeks. Nope. They just ate the $7.5 million.
Get out. Take your money and get out.
Exactly. So Frost is out. He has a nice payday.
His number's retired there, isn't it?
What's that?
His number's retired there, isn't it?
As a quarterback, yeah.
That's so bad.
So yeah, even if it's not retired, it's certainly in their Ring of Fame, Ring of Honor, whatever you call it.
Trophy, you know.
So yeah, he's gone. Their assistant coach is taking over for probably the remainder of the season. They'll start their quote unquote nationwide search, finding a new coach. But yeah, that's kind of the bigger news in terms of head coaching.
The Gators lost.
The Gators lost.
I just want to say that. Come on now.
Which is excellent. They lost to Kentucky.
Yeah.
First time since
I think it was like the 70s.
1976 and 77 was the last time that Kentucky beat Florida in back-to-back years.
Mark Stoops.
People are already calling for Billy Napier's head, and he's coached all of 2 games. Which I just got to say, the AP voters, the coaches voters, the 2 main voting polls they're on acid, man. They're on crack. They're on bath salts. They're on every possible illicit drug there is known to man. And let me say why. Florida beat number 7 Utah in the first game. They played it close. There supposedly people were thinking that Florida was favored. Some people are thinking Utah was favored. I don't know. But they beat Utah. Came very close. Utah probably should have won, but the quarterback just made a bad decision. Threw an interception in the end zone that sealed the game. So they win, and they get ranked 12th the next week. They went from unranked to 12th. The hell?
I know. Which is why the fall has been fantastic.
And then thank you, Kentucky Wildcats. And I hate Florida fans. They are so annoying.
Yeah.
So annoying.
We all agree on that. Yes.
So it was nice to see. That was, I mean, aside from the fact that I want Florida to lose all the time, the Utah win was just like,
I know.
It emboldened them
Utah's
so much.
Just disappointed me. It was like, come on, guys.
So, and now unfortunately, this one's tough for me. South Florida is heading to the swamp to play Florida this weekend. So
go Bulls.
I'm thinking to myself,
go Bulls.
Do I?
No.
It's
Bulls.
What is the
I'm
lesser?
Making the decision for you. Go Bulls.
What is the lesser of two evils? And unfortunately, I have to begrudgingly root for Florida.
Yes. For what? What? No. The overall, the greater good of the whole.
If he doesn't hate the Bulls, then UCF isn't a real team, has no real legitimate
He gave a
rivals.
compliment to their baseball field. It was
he gave compliments to a lot. It's called backhanded compliment.
But no. They have to beat the Gators because overall it'll prop up the other schools. The Bulls they're always gonna suck, which is always gonna be great. But if they can not suck for one game, it'll benefit the rest of us.
I have to say this though. What would be? But the problem is, Francisco, my dear Francisco, is South Florida is 1 for 19 in their last 20 games against FBS teams.
Okay.
They suck.
I know.
They are awful. Mm-hmm. They're terrible. They're terrible. They're horror awful. They are, well...
We got to cheer for the little guy here, right?
But... unless the little guy is them, I can't bring myself to root for them. I want them. I want the Gators to death roll those cows.
Okay. Alrighty then.
Anyway, FIU on the other hand, they still suck. I was present for their first win in almost exactly one calendar year. Their last win was 2021 against Long Island University on September the 2nd of 2021. And they went completely winless since then. And then they won in overtime 38-37 over Bryant. And it was September 1st. It was 364 days between wins. Yeah. FIU still has not won a game since they upset Miami in 2019 at Marlins Park.
Wow.
They have not beaten an FBS team since then. I think they're like 2 for 20 in games since then. They royally suck, and they got their endangered asses handed to them by Texas State this past weekend. So they're heading now to oh, they're off this weekend, and then they're playing somebody else, and they come back for the first weekend of October. If they somehow lose to UConn, they're a lost cause. I'm trying to think of other major headlines because I want to give Charles as much floor as he needs.
Oh, and I'm ready for the NFL talk, but let's see what else happened that got. I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, the Seminoles won, so yeah, that's fine and all. We actually beat LSU.
I think you're off to a 2-0 start.
Yeah,
for the first
beat
time.
LSU. We beat LSU. They almost choked the game away, by the way.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they almost choked the game. I watched that game. I actually watched it. I care about college football now.
Be still my heart. That game was so bad it was good.
Yeah. We're facing Louisville next, and you got really upset that UCF lost to them.
Just to let people who didn't watch it, FSU had the ball inside of LSU's 5-yard line. A touchdown wins the game in essence because it puts it out of reach. But they fumble it. The ball gets recovered at the LSU 1. So LSU has to go 90 yards in like a sliver over a minute to tie the game. Well, tie the game with touchdown plus extra point. They do. They score the touchdown with 0 seconds left on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
They kick the point after, and it gets blocked.
Yeah.
For the second time that game, that was 2 extra points blocked by FSU.
Yeah, FSU. I think one was a field goal. But the other one, was an extra point. And for whatever reason, LSU's punt returners or kick returners couldn't catch the ball.
Oh, the punt returner.
Oh,
that was it. The punt returner muffed 2 punts within a couple of minutes of each other. The one that got the reason that FSU was so close to the LSU end zone in the first place when they inevitably fumbled the ball was because the LSU guy muffed the punt. It was recovered by FSU at like the 15.
And by the way, we won in Louisiana, in New Orleans, so basically it was a road game.
Charles, have you ever experienced something where it was so bad it just became good?
Yes, I took the bar exam.
Yeah.
That was the beauty of this absolute aberration, abhorrent, awful game. It was so beautiful.
All right. I want to go down the rankings list thus far. This is what I have here from Google or whatever. But number 1 is Georgia, then Bama, then Ohio State, then Michigan, then Clemson, Oklahoma, USC, Oklahoma State, Kentucky, Arkansas, Michigan State, BYU, Miami, who won their last game, Utah, Tennessee, NC State, Baylor, Florida's at 18, Wake Forest, Ole Miss, Texas, Penn State, Pittsburgh, Texas A&M, and Oregon. So that's the top 25. Yep. There you go. And I don't know what notable games are on anybody's radar next week. But yeah, that's what's going down. And
well, I think the big one coming up is I think it's Nebraska, Oklahoma this weekend.
Yeah. So, just to see how they do with their interim coach. I guess.
People are kind of bummed that Frost isn't there because they really wanted just like a pure, unadulterated, just whipping of Nebraska, but we'll see how they respond to losing.
Anyways,
probably.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what's going down. That's college football. That's what's happening. And then also Miami and Texas A&M Also.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. So that's probably the big one more than anything else. So,
Yeah.
oh man, I would love as much as like it's the Canes. I would like for them to beat the Aggies, to be honest, because that'd be fun. That'd be fun, and also it'd be like a nightmare for Jimbo as well.
That's a trap game for Jimbo. Mario Cristobal's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, well, he's got them. He's got them pumped up at least, but we'll see if that's.
That's every hurricane.
Yeah, that's the honeymoon. You're in the honeymoon period right now, and then you'll eventually get back to like Mark Richt, the same thing, or Manny Diaz, the same thing.
It's more Manny.
Okay, well, we're at an hour 36. Just to let you guys know, so we're at a pretty good clip there. And NFL, let's go. Week one. I'm gonna go down the scores and everything like that because I did watch a lot of the highlights and the recaps of some of the games. I watched 2 games last weekend. So I watched the Dolphins game, and I was much like Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers, where I was just like looking for my moon base, trying to hoping the Dolphins would fail, and they didn't, much like the Power Rangers, but. I'm still not swayed because Tua didn't do anything still.
Oh, but Tua did everything.
No, he didn't. He didn't do shit. The defense did things. Even Doug, who I text Doug during Dolphins games, even Doug was like, yeah, the defense pretty much put up the early points that it made things easy for Tua, right? The one thing with Jalen Waddle, that's like the one thing. And then it was like, That was
more Jalen Waddle than anything, man.
Yeah. So Tua, like, there was no like deep ball. Like, it was a lot of checkdowns, right? Tyreek, like, it's basically Tua passes the ball, and then the other guys hopefully break out from there. There was no real deep ball going down, as far as I know. So I'm not convinced yet. I'm still not convinced. I'm not sorry at all. The Dolphins have not convinced me, and the Dolphins are going to go through a slog with their upcoming schedule, so I am expecting losses, guys. I'm gonna break this down for you real quick. We've got the Baltimore Ravens next week, so that's gonna be a loss. Then the Buffalo Bills, that's a loss. The Bengals, I'm sure Joe Burrow's gonna clean it up by that point, so that's a loss. The Jets, and that's gonna be a win. But they got the Vikings this year, the Steelers, the Bears, the 49ers, the Browns. Oh, Deshaun Watson will probably be back for that one.
I mean, it's 11-game suspension, so what week is that?
Let's see, that's week 10.
He's eligible for the Texans game.
Oh, okay. All right.
Rigged.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And there you go. All right, so that's what's going on. So the Dolphins, I expect to be 2-5 at some point. So there you go. But all right, the rest of the games. I did watch the Titans game, Charles.
Absolutely fun.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your AJ Brown-less Titans.
I'm going to give you 3 bullet points, and we can move on because there's other things I have to talk about. 1, fire Mike Vrabel. The man is so predictable when it matters. Wow. You knew he was going to run everything. You knew
his handsomeness cannot hold it down much longer.
No, man. Like, you know what he's going to do. There was nothing special or different that happened. And here's the thing. Did we necessarily miss AJ Brown? Bullet number point 2? Absolutely.
Yeah. And it was the kind of game that was kind of frustrating. Because I was like, oh, the Titans should hold it down. It's the New York Giants, right? And it just seemed like okay, right? It was what, 7? It was 13-0 going into the half. I'm like, okay, the Titans should just cruise on from here. But then, things fell apart in the fourth quarter. They fell apart. It gave up 8 points. So it like nothing happened on offense in that fourth quarter, and I was just kind of like, oof, no bueno. But luckily, Charles, the AFC South sucks. So, did everybody leave me? Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, did Charles leave me? I think he popped out again, Charles. I don't know what's going down. He popped out again. Well, Andrew, anything college football you want to talk about while we're still here? I'm gonna send a message to see if he's yeah, okay, his internet kicked him out, so it's got to be on his end because it's definitely not on ours.
I'm back.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
I've been getting kicked, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
So point number 3, and I'm sorry I didn't hear anything you said, but this is the point 3, and we can move on to things. It is essentially this. I kind of like our receivers. I think Trey Burks with the 3 catches for 60 yards or 55 yards is fine. I think it has potential, but this ain't on Tannehill. He looked a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, he was fine. I didn't think he was doing too bad.
But like, and here's my third one: the mismanagement of Rabel, because they have wasted a timeout because they didn't get the call set up properly, and so that's what led to Randy Bullock being the 47-yard miss, and we would have won the game. Very familiar. So it's, but the point number 4, I lied. So there's a 4th one coming up here if you're ready for this. The AFC South is so trash. I don't sweat.
That's what I said. That exactly, Andrew.
Y'all want to say
Andrew
Matt
can
Ryan's,
vouch for me.
Yeah. Y'all want to say Matt Ryan's the missing link. Nope, because you still had to have Jonathan Taylor like throw it or run it 30 times. And don't sleep on Houston. I'm not saying that they're going to win all these games, but I'm going to say that they're going to be spoilers for a lot because they're playing clean. Lovie Smith is competent. Y'all just hate Lovie because he's a representation of a bygone era that you guys hate.
Anybody hates Lovie.
People hate Lovie. People hate Lovie. They look at what happened in Tampa.
What I do hate is the NFL app because it used to have all these like insights, these little like trivia insights and stuff like that from the game or stat insights. They got rid of all of them. Yeah, they got rid of all of them, and they're just trying to push NFL Plus so you can sign up and just buy the games like that. It sucks. That sucks. Anyways, yeah, it made me actually sound smart when I talked about games. So, but I did watch a lot of highlights just to prep for the show. Yeah, the AFC South sucks. The Jaguars suck. So that's a known
good.
Constant.
I'm glad for Trevor Lawrence.
Did you see
he can be competent and lose at the same time.
It was funny on Twitter. They today I think they showed like the pregame speech, or whatever, and the one he gave was like, "All right, guys, let's show them what we're made of, okay?" And then he was like, and people were just learning that man could not motivate me to make a sandwich.
Yeah. Well, he's just very chill, man. He's Joe Cool.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things they talked about there. But anyways, so the Jaguars lost to the Washington Commanders.
Good for Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Dan Snyder sucks, but Carson Wentz, getting hopefully it seems
Jim
like
Irsay once again blaming people that don't need to be blamed.
That's true. Oh, the tie in Houston. Between the Colts and the Texans with Matt Ryan. And, that was just not good. I feel so bad for the Lions, man.
Y'all leave Jared Goff alone.
I feel so... they had their Hard Knocks this year. Like, they're such a...
They're based in Detroit. The water's still bad.
Lovable losers. And Dan Campbell, who's like... Maybe he shouldn't be a head coach, but gosh darn it, man! Like you just want to love him.
Eagles got some flaws there. Just saying.
They do. I mean, because this game shouldn't have been that close, to be honest.
3 points.
Yeah, the Lions have fight in them, which is what
AJ
you say for a bad team that's scrappy. Yeah. AJ Brown had a good game.
10 receptions, 165 yards. I look at him more for that. I'm the Doctor Who meme. I'm the David Tennant looking out the window. I didn't want to get rid of him. I hate things so much sometimes.
So, yeah, AJ Brown looked good. The Ravens spanked the Jets.
Robert Saleh. We're going to get those receipts. The parking receipts. We're staying too long in trash.
New York Post. Oh, man, that was funny.
We talk about insecurity.
Yeah. Oh, man. What was funny, I watched Barry McCockner's recap of week 1, and he's like, so yeah, the Jets were destroyed by a flying object in New York on 9/11.
Oh my god! Y'all should be so lucky I did not break character from the group chat when we're talking about the Titans. Be proud of me, Andrew. That's Grove.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Andrew was supposed to be the moral compass there.
I'm an adult now. Death Stranding changed me.
Yeah. So the Jets still suck. The Niners and Bears game was
great. Trey Lance ain't that dude. Granted, it was rainy as hell, man.
But that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun. The 49ers, man, it's like they need to find a quarterback.
But it's Trey. And that's the question. Here's the thing. Trey came out of what?
I don't know. We'll see what happens when they play in like that's like playing, Super Smash. One-on-one, Final Destination, no items. Let's see what he does with that, right? Instead of normal Smash with a bunch of weird stuff happening.
Yeah, and it's fine. The problem is that Deebo Samuel's still the best player on your team.
That's true. He had a touchdown, so
you got to have somebody who helps him out because his touchdown wasn't even a catch. It was him being utilized as a runner, and now they lost their main runner in Wilson or Elijah Mitchell. I don't know.
Yep. So, okay, the Bengals and the Steelers overtime.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good game. Joe Burrow started off really bad that game. If he's 3 interceptions to start, which is not good. Mitch Trubisky with the Steelers did all right. But I think he cleans that up. The Bengals probably should be fine, I think. But there's still issues with protection of Joe Burrow. And, we got to protect. He's one of us, Charles, as we know. Yeah. All right, smash.
One of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
Mostly got to protect his ego.
I got to compile a database of athletes.
Or his fans' egos, not his ego.
Yeah.
Because some of those fans revere that man. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying
it's Cincinnati. It's Cincinnati. The well has been dry for a long time.
God's favorite place of abandon.
All right. The Chargers and the Raiders. Herbert.
Josh.
Herbert.
McDaniels just showing why he should have been hired.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. The Vikings. Okay. Let's go. Let's get on the petty train here. Let's start with one. The Vikings and the Packers. Let's go with this one first. Let's get a good old classic Aaron Rodgers petty fest going. I like Barry McCockner's analysis of Aaron Rodgers, saying that if Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a good start to a game, he'll get way too conservative, and he'll also try and protect his TD interception ratio, which just to help with the stats,
Where's the lie?
And that's what happened. Nothing happened really for the Packers in that game.
That O-line was atrocious. I understand Bakhtiari is injured and everything, but it was like, the meme from last year when Aaron's seeing stars kind of thing. Literally the same thing, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
it was great for me.
The drop passes by his receivers,
and to defend him a little bit.
Okay,
Christian Watson should have caught that, but the whole thing is, it kind of goes to what I also feel about Matt LaFleur, where his situational awareness is also kind of trashy, and that was Rodgers' whole beef to begin with on a lot of stuff. It was, but that defense gave up, so you can only do so much on offense. Because Kevin O'Connell, if they made that 4th and goal, it would have been 27-7, man, or higher. But I loved it because it feels like a breath of fresh air in Minnesota, where that team legitimately should have always been biting at the heels of.
Yeah, they have an average quarterback and a good team around them. Yeah,
and Mike Zimmer just kind of, for whatever reason, just didn't want to win more than his team wanted, because how many times did they just not complete games on paper? And Justin Jefferson's a stud. And what's even better? What's fantastic? Because Roger, I don't want to tell anybody to how they should have made their money or not make their money, but I always think that the quarterbacks are scared because they never want another position to ever get paid more than the quarterbacks to help out the next generation. But Green Bay didn't want to pay him. They didn't want to pay Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Rodgers didn't take no hometown discount. None of the guys took a hometown discount. And isn't it – let me do my Brian Windhurst thing. What is the thing that Devontae Adams did? 10 receptions, 1 touchdown,
Yeah.
148 yards
Mhm.
on a new team with a new playbook that he's just
Yeah.
absorbing for the
With
first
a
time.
quote unquote, or well, with an inferior quarterback.
With a much inferior quarterback on comparison
Yeah.
for monies, right?
Mhm.
And I'm not saying David Carr's inferior or Derek Carr's inferior. I'm just giving the comparisons what everybody says to you. And can we finally give the respect that back-to-back MVP that Rodgers got? A third of that came from Devontae Adams' contributions, but everybody wants to forget that because we gotta love somebody. If Rodgers could just make his brand more like LeBron instead of more about him in that sense of knowing how to sell yourself, you can make money elsewhere instead of LeBron took all them discounts, baby, to some degree, not always.
Well, not
to get
anymore.
other,
He's not doing it.
He doesn't
anymore.
have to now. He doesn't have to now.
Yeah.
Take all your cash you can get. But when you're talking about trying to build up the proper teams, and say what you will, in football, a star quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback, always needs a star Hall of Fame receiver, and you ain't got
That's
that there. And I understand people say, "Oh, it's the same thing that happened a couple of years ago, and it just got to relax." RELX. No. That team looked bad all over the table.
Yeah.
All over the table. And I loved it.
Yeah, it's and NFC North. So there's always a chance. Like the Bears can have one of their once in every 5-6 years surprising seasons where they're actually good with a crappy quarterback, or the Lions are the Lions, and we all hope that they actually do something. They never will. And then of course the Vikings can always play down to their competition and disappoint. So there's always a chance that the Packers can win a division by default anyways. So it's not lost on anybody. But once the playoffs start, what happens again to Aaron Rodgers? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nobody throws to.
The first game, the Bills and the Rams. I was just want to get that out of the way. It's like, okay. The Saints and Falcons game. The Falcons with another epic choke. At the hands of Jameis Winston. So that kind of makes some sense, actually.
I'm glad for Marcus, man.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota getting getting another chance. It wasn't his fault of the choking happened, but we'll see what happens with Atlanta. That AFC South, the NFC South is also kind of terrible. Aside from Tampa Bay, which they're probably going to win it by default anyways. Getting back onto the petty train revenge tour, the Browns and the Panthers. Let's talk about that. Baker Mayfield, you had your shot, you had your chance. Yeah, he did fine.
We were rooting for you, bro.
Yeah, we were. He did fine enough, but at the beginning was not good, not good at all. I'm sure there were nerves. I'm sure there was that touch of revenge that he just kind of didn't focus well enough. But they had a shot of winning this, and of course the Browns barely won the game too. We could say that.
Yeah,
but
the Carolina defense lost it for them.
But there was something bigger than football with this game that they had to win Carolina. But unfortunately they didn't. So that's what happened. Then we've got the other game that I wanted to point out. Oh yes, last night's game, the Broncos and the Seahawks. Because the Bucs and the Cowboys, Dak Prescott injured. He's injured again. So, yeah, there you go, Dallas. I guess it's what you deserve in a way.
Yeah, they didn't build a whole team at all.
So that's gonna be fun to watch on national television because they're gonna be. I think they have another Monday night game or something like that coming up. That's gonna be fun.
Yep.
Okay, but yeah, last night Denver and Seattle. The revenge game for Russ. Charles.
I loved it. I love being right.
Of course you do.
I love being right about everything.
I don't understand.
You paid this $265 million man, and he can only get you 13 points across the field. 16, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And essentially, yes, it was a road game, but it's essentially a home. If you're going to play a game in the most comfortable environment, the place you've only played at for your entire career. And okay.
You know what I love most about it? It goes into that old adage, don't be afraid to kick field goals just because the new generation wants you to go touchdowns. Because if they went for the field goals instead for go on fourth down, they wouldn't have won the game.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I understand I'm an old fuddy-duddy, and I was just complaining about Mike Vrabel earlier. But, you play to win the game, and if the winning of the game is just getting a field goal when you have the best kicker in Brandon McManus, or is it Brandon McManus? Yeah. You have, one of the best kickers out there still doing it. You kick the game. You kick the field goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they did. Unfortunately, they heard me say it at the wrong possible time.
Yeah. And that last, I don't know if you saw those videos of Peyton Manning watching the game with Shannon Sharp and Eli, with Matt Patricia not calling a timeout to stop the clock, to plan something out, 4th and 5 to see if they could get something the first down and get it closer to actual realistic field goal range. Beautiful. The memes that came out of it. There was there's a Matt Patricia FWAA account. It's like, this was a lot easier on Madden, which was funny. But yeah, I mean, week 1, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for the most part. There was
because it allowed itself to be good.
There's some chaos that happened with Dak got injured and a bunch of stuff. The Dolphins and me being the Grinch. Yeah, almost had 2 ties and well. And then,
we forgot one other thing.
What game am I missing?
Kyler Murray's trash.
Oh, yes! All right, this is the end of the petty train. Here we go. That's right. It was on the freaking cover of the show for today. Yes, the Kyler Murray getting...
I feasted on my hatred this weekend, boys.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. The Kansas City Chiefs destroy.
Showed you what a guaranteed $1 million man looks like.
The Arizona Cardinals, 44-21 versus Kyler Murray, who was trying to get home early to practice some Call of Duty. So that's all he cares about right now. The guy who's built into his contract that he has to do homework.
Well, now they redacted it because he didn't want to be embarrassed.
Well, now we all know why they did it. So it's once again like the Streisand effect in a sort of way, where it's like, there's a reputation for this. Okay, man, what a fantastic. When I saw it was like 37-7, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, those other scores they got was just garbage.
Garbage time, yeah.
Leave it to, and remember this the non.
Stat patter
on paper. He's a good guy, I guess. But the non can I say ball licking of Kyler Murray for me has came down to I didn't see it when he was coming out of college, and I didn't see it because Cliff Kingsbury had issues as well, and they said this was just the right fit. And in the first season, I don't see it because they only won 5 games, and in the second season, I didn't see it because they only won 7 games. And everybody's telling me how good this guy is. I'm like, but what more can he get? You won 7 games with DeAndre Hopkins, man. What is this? And there's certain deficiencies, of course, and maybe they should have wasted first-round picks on just back-to-back middle linebackers, but I just never saw it. And then I know why I see it, because everybody who tells me that there's something special about Kyler Murray does fantasy football. And it's kind of the Aaron Rodgers effect.
Yeah.
And I don't like people telling me what's good and what's bad when I can do the eye vision test coming into it. And do I think Kyler Murray was better than Josh Rosen was? I think the play shows you that, yes, there's correct.
Yeah.
But now the pettiness, and mind you, for those who did not listen to the last NFL season that I was doing this, the petty came for Wilson and the petty came for Murray. The Aaron Rodgers one was when we actually started, and it's just blooming into fruition.
Yeah.
Who will be next in my stray zone? Who knows? But Kyler had no DeAndre Hopkins, had AJ Green, Mondrell Moore. Yes, AJ Green is still around. A couple other guys, and man, did it show. And Zach Ertz, and man, did it show that he can't read defenses at all. And man, did it show
that's why he needs to frickin' study.
It was bad. He didn't throw any picks, but people are going to stats, because we often forget the games that happened in week 1 when it's week 17. Do we not? Yeah. And they're like, oh, but this must have been a defensive issue. There was only 2 touchdowns he got. But he did what he could. He did what he could, guys. He did what he could. And then you kind of miss the point with everything. The whole thing is that you don't need a quarterback, case in point, Geno Smith, who is going to get you 5 touchdowns a game, but he's going to keep you within scoring distance and dissect defenses. And it can be argued that, the Denver Broncos are supposed to have great defense. So good on you, Gino. They try to write you up, but you don't write back. I like that phrase. That's some good petty phrase.
Good one. Yeah.
But with Kyler, it's just kind of like, and mind you, Mahomes did his dissection, but I don't see no motivation. I don't see anything like that. And yes, you could chalk up to, hey, it's just a game one, but in the hardest division in football, that first game one matters so much.
Yeah.
So much. And you're lucky that San Fran lost.
Yeah, the Rams too.
You're lucky that the Rams lost, and you're lucky that Seattle, a lot of people aren't going to buy that momentum because they're still downplaying the fit of everybody on that team. The bad news bears of football would be the Seattle Seahawks. I think we agree with that.
Yeah. But that was
Charles
good.
is right, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah, so this is the end of the petty train, the petty hard-on that we've got here. So it's good. This was a fitting end to our week one recap. I do want to just talk a little bit quickly about baseball, just like couple minutes here. The Marlins lost by 1 run again today, guys. So I think that's like 35 games or something like that we've lost by 1 run this season.
How do you even fix that?
They just need bats. They have the pitching. It was a 2-1. They lost 2-1 today. They've got the pitching. They just need bats. It's all like Sandy Alcantara lost today. He gave up 2 runs, and anyways, he's still 12-8, which from a wins perspective, like, oh wow, it's pretty amazing that the Marlins have won 12 games for this guy. But okay. So that's what's going on in the standings. The Yankees are hanging on still, 5.5 games over Toronto and Tampa Bay. So that's what's going down. But you guys are, I think, losing to the Red Sox right now?
Yeah, 4-3. Judge hit 56.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Aaron Judge is on his way for trying to hit 62 right now, which will make the Yankees record. And then we'll see if he gets close to, like, Sosa at 66. Pretty hard at this point. There's not much time, but it's still possible because, like, the baseball season ends, like mid, the first week of October, almost
like 3 weeks from now. It's
because
over.
of the lockout. So it's there's still time, but he'd have to get on a really big hot streak to catch Sosa at 66. And then Albert Pujols, he's at
3 away.
Yep, 697. So he's still got time to hit 3 home runs to get to 700. And then from there, he's not going to catch Babe Ruth. So, but 700 could basically, he passed A-Rod at this point. So, one Dominican crossing another one, and then the steroid allegations. We'll see what happens with that. But for the most part, other standings, the Cleveland Guardians are hot right now, so they're winning their division by default. The White Sox have actually started to play better as of late.
Tony La Russa.
Oh yeah, Tony La Russa is really old and shouldn't be managing at all. And his age is finally caught up to him right now, so he really just retired, dude. He's already a baseball manager Hall of Famer, so it's no real reason for him to have returned. But that was the White Sox. They paid him, and he's an alcoholic, so that's what happened. And then the Twins are not good, so they're not a good baseball team. So Carlos Correa is probably going to opt out of his contract, and he'll probably hit the market from there. The Astros are winning the West, so that's basically all said and done. The wild cards, Seattle is actually doing well. They might actually hang on for the first time in a long time and make the playoffs. And then the Rays and the Blue Jays. But the Orioles are falling out. I think it's pretty much set by this point that it'll be Seattle, Tampa, and Toronto will be the wild cards. Unless the Yankees fall apart and they could be in there. So, yeah, that's the American League. NL, the Dodgers they've already clinched their playoff spot at this point. They're going to clinch the West soon. That's not a thing. The New York Mets are fighting the Braves. That's a neck-and-neck race right now between the two. It's just who wants it more. But the Mets have also kind of sort of fallen apart as of late. And that's kind of funny for us because it's the Mets. So, and the Cardinals are the Cardinals. They're winning their division basically by default. The Brewers are not that great this season, and the wild cards, Atlanta, pretty much have held it down. So if it's either New York or Atlanta, is going to be that first wild card, and the Padres, who basically traded because this happened during the offseason, traded pretty much all of their picks, all of their draft, or not. Oh, actually, you can't trade picks in baseball. All of their prospects and everything like that, and banished Luke Voigt to Washington to get Juan Soto,
Trash.
who has been really, really trash. Yeah, so he's got another season to make up for it and see if he can he has a contract here. But the Padres did not really go off as people thought they would. Didn't they get a pitcher too? Right? I forgot who they got. They got a pitcher. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. The closer, right? As well from the Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go. So that hasn't worked out well for them either. But they're holding out in the second the final wild card spot. They're trying to fight off the Brewers, and then the Phillies are there too. And it's gonna be one of those three teams for that second and third wild card. So we'll see what happens. If the Padres fail to make the playoffs again, it's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be really, really glorious with the memes and everything. And yeah, that's baseball. That's really what's gone down. That's pretty much a recap of everything at this point. And we'll see what happens with the final races. Woo!
All right, let's just get to it already, Francisco.
2 hours and 7 minutes. I know. We're at 2 hours and 7 minutes mark. But we had a lot to try and condense over that time. So, Charles, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Vince McMahon has gone away.
There can be
I believe Monster can soar.
If you believe.
I'm going to help you open the cage's new door. I believe I can fly. I can fly. Welcome, everybody, to your weekly rejuvenated, reinstated, reinstated, undisputed, unconquerable, ungovernable Cage with Charles. Now, remember, wrestling is not fake. It is scripted. It is a stage fight. It is a song and dance. It's a soap opera. It's about underdogs beating the big bad guy. It's about the bad guys getting the downfalls. It's about championships and legacies. It's about people straight up hating each other. Holy shit.
It's about hush money.
It's about hush money. It's about ego. It's about kicking down doors and biting people and throwing things. And it's about ultimately Charles's happiness, I think, sometimes.
The year of the Charles.
The year of the Charles is very strong. And I had thought about it where I was going to start, and I'm just going to start with it. July 22nd, 2022. Picture it. Martin County, Florida. Anybody who watches Golden Girls Xavier Woods follows on Twitter. We follow you up, down, down. Charles the Truth, Dan Frijoles, France, FJO, JR, Sports Goofs. You see, I had to bring it in somehow. Picture it. He's a big Golden Girls fan, so that's my shout out to it. Picture it. Martin County, Florida. Charles is sitting in his office, chilling, doing lawyer stuff, being a lawyer man. When he gets a text message from a paralegal on Twitter saying, Charles! I'm like, what? Because we both like wrestling. I'm like, what? And I see it. Vince McMahon retires. Basically, I'm like, that's a lie. That got to be a lie. Don't spam me on that stuff. When we last left off, we talked about the allegations of hush money that Vince McMahon was having sexual relationships with WWE legal counsel and other people. And then more things kind of came up. And then the board of directors investigated. So Vince pulled a quick serve on July 22nd, 2022. And he just bailed, man. He just out. It's time to retire. He didn't get no pomp and circumstance, anything like that. The people who took over, Stephanie McMahon, co-CEO, Nick Khan, co-CEO. Triple H is now head of creative, head of talent relations, head of everything. And I'm just sitting there. Just, probably eating a cosmic brownie as everything just crumbling down my chin in pure awe and shock. I don't want to say anything that's offensive to anybody who has actually had historical hardships, in their lives throughout the history of time, it is the purest sense of, I'll give you this. I'll do it in a literary form.
Dong, the witch is dead.
No, even better. This is when Sauron, died. Anybody who's watched Ring of Power, I haven't watched it. I don't know if I want to, but this is when you see at the Return of the King the whole damn stuff crumbling. You're like, Mr. Frodo, and Samwine's Gamgee doing stuff, but then everybody's crying and shit. I'm just sitting there and thinking about the 25 years that this man has just kind of put into me just hating him. And legitimately speaking, I did not like Vince McMahon. You guys know this. I acknowledge that he helped usher the Attitude Era. I acknowledge the fact that he had good wrestling prior to the Attitude Era. I acknowledge the fact that I had the WWE Network. I acknowledge the fact that I had Peacock. None of it was because of really Vince McMahon. A lot of it was because I liked the talent in there. It's kind of like seeing a Brett Ratner movie. You know he's garbage, but you support Jackie Chan. Brett Ratner directed Rush Hour 1, 2, 3 for anybody who just wants to go with that reference. Also directed X-Men The Last Stand. So you support Hugh Jackman because he is jacked, man. I saw it. I'm reading it. And I was the Matthew McConaughey smoking a cigarette looking at the phone meme the entire day. Like literally start to finish. It's the same way that I was with every other historical bout coming in. It's the way I was later when we talk about another wrestling company and organization. And I was like, bullshit, because it happened on like a Thursday and Friday Night SmackDown was the next thing, and then there was a lot of drama that happened in between because Brock Lesnar was threatening to walk out. SummerSlam was the following week. All these things were gonna happen. You're like, there's no way. But if Rome wasn't built in a day, guys, you have to understand I'm just
listening to you. I'm just sitting back right now with a Mandarin in my hand and just like I'm eating this up right now.
Yeah,
and I've got an image up on the screen here of just like a summary of some of the things I've gone down just this year alone.
It's so much, and I'm like a couple of seconds behind the feed. But there was walkouts, there was characters getting a name change, people getting ruined, everything like that. It was basically what felt like the end of days. There was not a part of me that was like, "Yo, I'm out. I'm not going to watch wrestling anymore." But there was points where I was not watching Raw. I was not following as much on SmackDown. NXT 2.0 has been kind of trash, even with Hunter taking over. So I'm just going to say that right now. It's a year anniversary to of NXT 2.0. So hopefully they get that engine going. But, AEW was being watched more and everything. And I just saw the possibility because when Hunter is put in charge, I'm like, I know what I'm getting from the NXT Black and Gold era. What is going to happen here? I'm very intrigued. But to commemorate Vince McMahon being gone, the thought I want to leave to him as I say my goodbyes to him is that I'm going to say it. Can I do it now? You were trash for continuing the pay-per-view when Owen Hart died, which I believe was over the edge. You should have canceled it. You don't announce a guy's death on live audience and TV. It was a pay-per-view and all came into it. You say you respect the talent and everything like that, and you showed the most that, everybody worked on you was just people, not family. So the whole Then Now Forever crap was just BS. You would have canceled it. Yes, you would have lost money, but, something happened that was monumental that you can't fix. And that's how one of your legacies go down on. So there's that. You did the Attitude Era. That's fine. But then you hated WCW so much that when you bought out the company and you brought back every time you did something with WCW, you had to spit on it because you couldn't create a new generation of greatness. So you had to reflect back to him, looking at Sting and Triple H at WrestleMania. And damn you for the last couple of years. I get releasing people during the COVID pandemic. There's worse things that he's done too, obviously. Like real bad stuff that he's done in life. But I'm just going on like touch points because I don't need to give Vince McMahon more of my time. You know what I mean? It's great. I don't have to give him back anymore.
This would be good if like we must not speak of this man ever again after this.
Yeah, we don't have to, but how you just kind of debase a lot of wrestlers, changing their names, taking their identity to make him IP, even though they're the ones who are generating the money. You're not in the ring anymore. You had last good hurrah at WrestleMania. But what it feels like with Vince being gone is Genie at the end of Aladdin, where it's like, come on, I wish for now. And he goes, I wish for now. No, haha, not going to do it. I'm going out. I'm leaving. Bye. And he just flies out, Robin Williams. That's what it felt like. And since then, H has been doing pretty good. SummerSlam was an okay pay-per-view. I wasn't feeling it. I think it's because I was in North Carolina, so I didn't watch it in one sit-in. It was actually split between 3 days. Clash of the Castle was excellent. Gunther versus Sheamus, it was a 5-star match. Watch it on Peacock. Watch it to anybody who thinks wrestling isn't intense, physical, or real. You will love it. I love Gunther, the wrestler formerly known as Walter. before Vince changed his name, even though people know he's Walter. I don't understand that, but I don't have to worry about that anymore. Him and Sheamus still going at it. Walter's had like 3 of my matches of the years. Gunther's now had part of it, same identity, whatever, progress. Him and Ilya Dragunov, part 2. Him and Ciampa, now him and Sheamus, oh, so good. Roman's still champ. I don't know what we're doing with that. Drew was so close to winning, then Solo Sikoa came out, screwed over. I wish a lot of pay-per-views were outside the United States because, whoo, boy, Wales was hot when they did Clash of the Castle a couple weeks back. They were hot for the crowd. It was actually an A pay-per-view. Nothing ever really gets A+. Drew probably should have won, but damn, man, it was good. It was fast. Give you some updates on champions, who holds title belts, and then I'm going to segue to AEW. I told you I can make WWE a little bit bite-sized. Gunther is still IC champion. We love him. Roman is still the undisputed Universal WWE Championship. The Usos are still the undisputed tag team champions. Liv Morgan cashing her Money in Bank briefcase. She is the women's champion. Bianca Belair is still the Raw's champion. United States champion is now Bobby Lashley. And the problem is Raw does not have the main title. Roman doesn't go to Raw that often. There's no 2 separate world championships, and it kind of feels it a little bit. 24/7 champions kind of not acknowledged anymore, so that's good. Over at NXT, Mandy Rose. So NXT did a merger because there was NXT and there was NXT UK, and NXT UK folded because Hunter is now creating NXT Europe. So he's manifest destining that stuff. Okay. Big time. So he basically sunsetted the titles. So Braun Breaker unified the titles to be NXT champion. Mandy Rose sunsetted the titles or merged them to become NXT Women's Champion. NXT Tag Champions are now Pretty Deadly, and we love them. They're hysterical. They're totally a callback to the 80s. And then Melo is still Carmelo Hayes. We love him because Melo don't miss. Follow us on the Twitter, sir. Is still your North American champion. So that's what's going on there. It's a whole new world since we're going to keep the Aladdin theme. If I do a promo code for this thing, a whole new world. You can subtitle this cage a whole new world. Because with every dream, someone has a nightmare. And that nightmare right now, boys, is AEW. Holy hell. Updates.
Yes.
All Out happened over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
When we last left off talking about it, is that All Out, they were going to have the title eliminator match. Remember, CM Punk hurt his foot. They didn't vacate the title. They made it into an interim title. Jon Moxley won that title. They faced off at a Dynamite the week before the pay-per-view. Moxley won it in a squash match in under 4 minutes. Like, what the hell is this? And they went back into a rematch at All Out in Chicago. Punk's from Chicago. And me and my buddy Tony are like, man, if they're going to have Punk win with the power of Chicago, I'm thinking a heel turn's coming. That's great. Little did I know how correct I was, but not in the way I like to be correct. That's the problem being Charles Stradamus. Shit happens and it's more intense than I think so. It's a monkey's paw at the end of the day. So I won't go into full right now. I can give you AEW. I got to talk to you about this blow. So CM Punk wins, and CM Punk, when he came back to feud with Moxley, called out Hangman Page, and we love Hangman Page. Andrew, he's the one that wore the in Jacksonville. They did the pay-per-view. He wore the gay pride colors on his trunks. And we love Adam Page. He is great. He's a good wrestler. He's a good mic worker. He's generally a good guy. He's part of the Elite, and the Elite consists of Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Mad Nick Jackson to a degree, Hangman Page, and then Punk had started some rousings on Dynamite saying that, that Hangman went to the business for himself. And I'm like, what? You guys are an unscripted show in wrestling. You have to soak up the people. And him talking about how you and Cole Cabana had lawsuits against each other isn't like, it's common knowledge. It's been known knowledge for 10 years. So how is it going for the business for himself and all this other stuff? And Punk's reaction to Page's promo was hurt because Page was saying, for the first time, I'm not defending the AEW championship. I'm defending the AE locker room against you. And that probably built up into it. So anyway, Punk wins the championship, wins it back from Moxley at All Out, which was 15 matches. So it was like 5.5 hours. Unnecessary. Trim the fat. Wrestling pay-per-views, 8 to 9 matches. I'm cool with it. Or 6 matches with like backstage interviews to hype up the matches on the next TV show, right? That's fine. All the stuff I sent you, I watched like the first 2 minutes, and man, buddy, CM Punk comes out blazing. He must be from Chicago because he was shooting some strays. Ooh, is that too much? I don't care. Fix your crime problems because everybody was catching, stray bullets on that one. He was insulting basically the elite, saying that they were children because Matt and Nick Jackson and Kenny Omega
and was at the player haters ball. That's where he was.
Yeah, exactly. He was getting that awards acceptance speech. And the thing that always goes back to me, he goes and says, I'm old, I'm buzzed, I'm hurt, and I work with fucking children. And he's talking trash about everybody. And Tony Khan, the owner, son of Shad Khan, looks so uncomfortable as happening. And part of me is like, is this a work? And I'm like, it's got to be a work, right? I'm like, it's got to be a work because it's the part of the heel Punk turn, everything like that. And then afterwards, Punk and his boy Ace Steel are in the locker room, in their own private locker room. And then the elite of Kenny Omega, Nick Jackson, and Matt Jackson are like, yo, you talking that shit, right? Well, here's some receipts. The bill is due, pal. And apparently a fight occurred. Now, mind you, the elite had just won the trios title that was just introduced because that's right. AEW has added more titles to everything. Trios championships. There's a 3-man squad. That there you need to think tag teams with one additional guy, Andrew. So they fought. Ace Steel bit somebody, bit Kenny Omega. CM Punk like cold clocked Nick Jackson, and someone got hit with a chair. It went on for like 6-7 minutes. There's been an investigation. And I'm like, what has happened? So I became that Matthew McConaughey meme every day. I apologize on air for how obnoxious I was sending you guys everything. Because this is real life beef with your biggest stars. 3 of them being your founding members. And the other one was your literal cash cow to get new viewers that were part of the WWE area and part of the Ring of Honor era who loved Punk so much because Punk's whole thing was best in the world. And you literally gave him everything he probably wanted to assuage his ego. And he could come at me on that. I don't care. Punk, I follow you on Twitter, but if you felt attacked by that, you can't see me, but I'm doing the DX crotch shot right there, the sucker. Because you come back in less than a year of wrestling, you're given these high-profile feuds. You only lost to one guy, 2 guys technically, because you lost the Mox and Squash match. You had an opportunity to win the title on your first offense, which happened in May. At that pay-per-view, and then you got it back with the Power of Chicago. I'm going to kind of say that you were catered to appease as a big sell to be pushed by a company. And my whole thing was I was very resistant to CM Punk coming in and getting a title shot. I think it's one of those things where you're established. I don't think having a title establishes your legacy or pushes your legacy. You know what I mean? That's just me. Punk's 44. Like, maybe he just didn't want to be remembered as the guy who got knocked the hell out in his 2 UFC fights, right? Maybe it's that. So, a scripted title win is better than a actual loss in the UFC. Would you agree with me, guys? I think so. Yeah. So what happens from this stuff is you got to make a decision. And what decision that Tony Khan made was he had CM Punk now vacate the AEW championship, and the trios championships were vacated. Side note, there's also an interim women's championship because Thunder Rosa got injured. Stop with the interim stuff, Tony. This shit's confusing because it also just doesn't work. It literally doesn't work, man. So here's my issue with it. I believe the elite were punished because they were active wrestlers who had to vacate championships they literally won earlier that day. But here's a little thing you guys got to know about what happened to CM Punk. He was injured in his match with Jon Moxley. And not just some standard issuing. He tore his triceps. He's gone for 8 months, 6 to 8 months. That title was not physically going to get, defended anyway. So you had no choice but to vacate it. So is he truly punished? Because he's suspended. The whole lot of them are suspended.
But it's like he's in recovery for an injury, so it's like...
Yeah, and are you going to suspend him without pay for being injured? That's really hard to do, right? I don't know if that's some legal suits, but I'm sure there's some legal suits going on. Who knows? So I don't feel that he was punished. So are you going to terminate him? You could. The problem is if you terminate him, you got to terminate everybody, right? In theory, to a degree, because these are grown men's and egos, and this is the problem with it being a carny kind of show, even though it's live television, they're professionals and they go on TV, is that there's still that kind of like boys will be boys mentality, I guess. But it's also a life lesson where you just can't talk that trash now when it's not planned or anything like that, because you're talking about Page going into business for himself. You went into business for yourself. And you know who looks great out of this?
The hand that feeds too, yeah.
CM Punk is both the feeder and the hand, in his mind, I guess. Yeah, come at me, Punk. I really don't care. I'm sure there's 1,000. You have, man, like, anybody who loves him is probably going to shit on us on Twitter anyway. I don't care. I don't read your stuff. I'm entitled to have an opinion. Suck it. I think that's basically just described everything on Twitter for people who post on things and comment on stuff. But here's the thing that I think the person who looks best out of this is Hangman Page, who was called out not once but twice by Punk on live TV and at that media scrum at their pay-per-view. He didn't go to the locker room. He didn't fight Punk. He didn't do anything like that. He held himself to be a true pro. And one of the things about being pro is you ought to get rewarded and you ought to be looked as a locker room leader. You know who else is definitely a locker room leader and deserves to get some kind of 6-week vacation when time comes? Jon Moxley, because now he's got to get back into this stuff. And I gave you guys that little promo. That was like partially real because he was supposed to go on vacation after losing the Punk. And now he has to come back in because now they have to go crown a new champion. It's probably going to be him versus Daniel Bryan in the match. So apparently him, Jericho, and Bryan kind of have been leading the locker room to away. But this creates some comments where, is Punk toxic? And I don't think the same way of why Deshaun Watson is still in the NFL is the same way of why CM Punk is still going to be on that company, dollars and cents. And it's a growth expansion. And the thing you want to do with your business, and there's still a very infant business going on year 4, you don't want to do anything that cuts you out of having the opportunity to expand further and further. So you don't take a risk when you have a sure thing. And
creates intrigue as well afterwards, right? Like what's going to happen?
Well, Punk at the end of the day, and listen, I watched that Dynamite. Hell yeah, I watched that Dynamite. Yeah, they got my ratings for what happened after the fact, but you can't let go of a sure thing because you have me who's just saying I can live without CM Punk. It's fine. It's okay. There's a bunch of wrestlers or fans for the last 20 years that was their dude from his Ring of Honor days to what he did in WWE into now. So what does that say, right? That guy can move merch. That guy gets people to go to pay-per-views. That guy gets pay-per-views bought. That guy gets them to do appearances. And here's the thing, too. Like, just because you're injured doesn't mean you can't do other things in wrestling. He could be on commentary. He could be a manager. Whatever they want to go with it. There's a lot of roles that you can do. So I'm very interesting. But, this is what happens when it's a whole new world, guys. Whole new set of rules. So that's it, what I got for you on the cage. And my very bite-sized, condensed everything. It was just July 22nd, 2022. Best day of my life. I'll tell you. Nothing will top that. I get married, not going to top it. I have children, nothing's going to top it. I can win the lottery and pay off my student loans, nothing's going to top it. Nothing will top that. It's going to be 2023, July 22nd, 2023. Fantastic. Whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes.
Okay. Well, we're close to 2.5 hours, so that's actually pretty good for a first one after all that stuff and all the months that just stuff built up, which was the whole point of the break that we took. So, okay, next week we got NFL Week 2. Guess me and Andrew will talk about our experience covering UCF FAU. That'll be fun. And some more stuff from the wrestling world. And I guess we'll do the brackets for the that food thing for baseball. And there's another thing I hope to start next week, but I want to keep it a secret for now. Okay, but bye, everybody.
Good night.
Take care.